In Omaha, and the line is long. Already one team has forced another game on Saturday. TCU's trying to make that happen against the Gators of Florida. We got ourselves a play-in game for TCU, otherwise they go home. For Florida, it's all about pitching and defense. Got him!
Yeah! Ripped to the right side. The Omaha kid has done it again.
It's gone!
TCU lives to play another day.
They've got themselves in the driver's seat. Now all they got to do is finish the job. Trying to live for another day as we welcome you to ESPN's coverage of the NCAA College World Series. It's presented by Capital One. Huge crowds today. Got a chance to watch LSU stay alive against Oregon State. Massive crowd expected tonight as they look to see a close game. Florida is 2-0. This is a rematch of a game we saw Sunday. Florida won that one 3-0, but here comes TCU knocking on the door trying to get out of that loser's bracket. Mentioned LSU. They had it lined up. Alex Lang was on the mound. He was their ace all season. He was outstanding again today, silencing an offense that's been as good as any in college baseball. And then if you haven't seen Zach Hess pitch, you should. He'll be in the major leagues. Feels like tomorrow, but he's only a freshman. He was outstanding again today. So we got ourselves at least one game tomorrow. We may have a second if TCU can beat Florida. For the Gators, if they win tonight, they are set up for a championship series with their two aces ready to go in games 1 and 2. Eduardo Perez, Kyle Peterson here. I'm Carl Ravitch. Welcome. Laura Rutledge will join us in just a little bit. And you think about TCU, again, loser's bracket is hard, but they're trying to run their way back into this thing.
They are. It's about winning. You have pitching, you have defense, and you have base running. And this is one thing that TCU does very well, very aggressive. Yesterday in the second inning, Elliot Barzilli only came in with 4 stolen bases on the season in 6 attempts, steals second, steals third, and then they get that base hit, manufacturing runs. That's what they do. Double stealing in the same inning. Keeping the pressure going against Louisville. This is a team that will die on the bases just as well as they will live on it. They've already been picked on the bases 7 times during this College World Series. It's a team that you'll see them being aggressive as soon as Coach Mosiello has the opportunity.
They've stole over 100 bags this year. Meantime, for Florida, Faedo, their ace, outstanding. Singer, their number 2 guy, outstanding. And now who?
Now Jackson Kowar. Coming into this season, when you looked at Florida's rotation, I think from a pro prospect standpoint, it was as talented as any in the entire country. Now, Kowar has not had a start in a little over 2 weeks, and so we'll see what we get today. But he is 12-0 on the season, and his stuff can be very, very good. For Florida, what's been the offense in maybe a few places that we didn't think it would come from? Austin Langworthy hit his 4th home run of the year. That gave him the lead against Louisville, and then Deacon Lippett, who really has turned it on over the last month to month and a half. That home run extended the lead. Those 2 home runs enough for Florida to win game 2.
Both of these schools have had reservations to the table. They've yet to taste the ultimate meal, which is a championship. Tonight, they look to take another step closer. TCU and Florida right after this.
We're back in Omaha, where Florida head coach Kevin O'Sullivan said tonight wasn't one of those lineups that writes itself. Jackson Kowar, their starting pitcher, has been undefeated this season, and J.J. Schwartz has caught him the majority of the time. But J.J. Schwartz will be at first base tonight, and you'll see Mike Rivera, their best defensive option, at catcher. This is all because their right fielder, Nelson Maldonado, suffered a jammed shoulder in the last time the Gators played, and so he will be DHing. Maldonado will, but not able to throw, not available defensively. So you've had to see Kevin O'Sullivan shuffle things a little bit. Christian Hicks, their utility infielder, if you will, would be available off the bench. They'd like to get him some opportunities potentially in pinch hit situations, guys.
All right, Laura, thank you. There's Kowar, and if you like an undefeated season so far, he's doing pretty well, 12-0 with an area of 4. That sophomore, here are his statistics and scouting report.
The stuff is real stuff. It's a power fastball, can get into the mid-90s, and it is a legitimate swing and miss changeup. Sometimes it'll even look like a split, but it's a changeup that Kowar throws. I think the key tonight, though, is fastball control, because that's what gets Kowar into trouble. His fastball command has been spotty sometimes this year. When it's on, he's been really good.
All right, boys and girls, let's take a look at the TCU Horned Frogs. The batting order is brought to us by Capital One.
And it's been a consistent batting order 1 through 9. 9 being Ryan Merrill. You see what he's done this year in the College World Series. 3 for 9, home run, 3 RBIs, driving in a lot of runs. 17 RBIs in his last 23 games since May 1st.
Feels a little bit more like fall than it does summer. Temperature today around 73 degrees for the first pitch, and the wind is blowing out to dead center. We've had a whole bunch of home runs hit here already. We'll see if that happens again tonight. And as Austin Wade steps in, and the first pitch, a fastball at 92, in there for a strike. The right fielder, a junior out of Midlands, Texas. As you see the flags blowing dead central. 28 multi-hit games in his career. One rides high.
And a different thing about this game than all the others that have started at this time, forget about the shadows. Right now there's a lot of cloud cover. Beautiful day to hit the baseball.
332, 5 homers on the season. Swings through that one at 93. So 3 pitches, 3 fastballs.
Cal, I love when you say the stuff is real. That stuff right there, that 93 up in the zone, that was action.
It explodes. I mean, it's... And they've seen him as high as 95, 96 this year, but wait till you see the changeup. That one works too.
Sure does. Threw it down, and it was a called strikeout for Austin Wade. He'll head back and try to give a bit of a scouting report to Zach Humphreys as he walks by him.
Scouting report is I saw 4 pitches. They are pretty good fastballs, and the last one was a 2-seamer at the knees. It was moving away. That will be the key tonight, though, for Kowar. If the fastball command is there, because the stuff is so good, he can stream through 7 or 8 innings.
Steve Mattingly will call balls and strikes for us tonight. And now Zach Humphreys, the designated hitter, the freshman. Strike 1. Anything that Kowar could take from either Faedo or Singer?
Their slider. That would help, but I don't know if he can pull that off.
How about experience-wise?
Okay. I think if you look at the way those guys went around, good breaking ball tonight too for Kowar. If you look at the way those guys went about it, they filled up the strike zone and they allowed their stuff to dominate. The problem is if you're 1-0-2-1, the fastball straightens out, it goes over the middle of the plate. But those guys got ahead. They then could expand the strike zone. He can do the same thing. There's a change. So you've seen everything in this at-bat. First pitch fastball, 92. Breaking ball, he stole a strike and then tried to get a swing and miss on an 0-2 changeup.
Humphreys 1 for 9 at the College World Series. It's righties a lot better than he does lefties. That's on the corner, and 2 up, 2 down.
And this is a scary part. As a hitter, you see the fastball, and then you see this, the curveball. Nasty, starting at the top of the zone and just breaking and hitting the corner. That's a tough pitch to even make an adjustment on when you really haven't seen it. Now go back to the dugout and tell your teammates about that one.
They've been talking amongst themselves and to themselves. The top 3 in the order, including this guy, Evan Skaug, now 3 for 32 with 15 strikeouts. 3 for 32. There's some movement on that 2-seam fastball away from the lefty. He has been pounding the strike zone.
You know when you think a lot at the plate, balls now, the fastball starts getting by you. It seems like he's late all the time.
Well, this dude can turn a fastball around when it's going right. He went through a period like this at the beginning of the season. Scout's first 3 or 4 weeks were not great. Did not swing the bat well at all. Then was on fire for about 6 to 8 weeks. He has not looked comfortable here. There's a changeup.
Sits there with 20 home runs on the season.
He's going to see that one again right here.
Now looking to strike out the side and do it in 12 pitches if it happens here. It did. How about that start? Jackson Kowar, 12-0. 76 strikeouts on the season after picking up 3 at the top of the first. Now TCU is going to be shaking their head. This Florida staff, everyone's shaking their head. 19 innings, 29 strikeouts, and only 3 walks. As we take a look at the Gators lineup, you don't need to score a lot when you're pitching the way they are. It's brought to us by Capital One.
The focus is on the 5-hole hitter, Deacon Lippett. You look at what his numbers, 3 for 7, 3-run home run. Left-handed hitter in the middle of that lineup, providing some power.
Well, we get Mitchell Traver on the mound for TCU, and this is a kid that has battled through about every injury he possibly could. 2011, thoracic outlet syndrome. 12, Tommy John. 13, he redshirted because of that Tommy John. 14, stress fracture. 15, muscle strain. And then this year, a pulled muscle. But when it's right, the fastball is a very good fastball. Into the mid-90s, the breaking stuff is tight, but he needs to go deep tonight because of the way that this pitching staff has been stressed so much more than Florida's. But Traver has shown the ability over the last few weeks, because this is the best that he's thrown this year, has been leading up to this College World Series.
Yeah, and obviously everybody that has seen Traver pitch, especially Major League scouts, love him. He has been drafted 4 different times. Most recently this year in the 20th round by the Angels of Anaheim. And he's a big boy at 6'7", 255. Ryan Larson, the right fielder out of Orlando, Florida, the senior, will lead things off for Florida. Larson looking for his first hit at the World Series, 0 for 7.
Too much.
Inside. How are we doing after that first inning that we just saw from Jackson Kowar?
You look into the north, see if any rain's coming right now, because that was flat out unfair for about 4 minutes.
Florida wins this game. They have Faedo and Singer set for games 1 and 2, which will begin the championship series on Monday. And if not, then the whole thing is wide open for whoever gets to that championship series. Everybody's pitching except Florida's a little out of whack right now.
Oh my. See Scout balk on that, which I don't blame him. That's a strike.
That's right down the middle.
That's a strike, and it was not high.
No.
Now, here's where this goes back to, okay? Mitchell Traver pitched against Cal earlier this year. Steve Mattingly was behind the plate. He threw 70 pitches in that game. He threw 32 strikes. There is a reason why they are chirping at Steve Mattingly on the 3rd pitch of the ballgame. It's because of what happened earlier this year.
Well, they've already picked up a warning. There's a lot of purple behind that dugout as well who are yelling. There's Kirk Sarlos, the pitching coach, who's looking out at Mattingly and raising his arms up. And Schlossnagel has moved to the top step as if he's going to come out and talk to Traver and perhaps get a word in with Mattingly if it is necessary. Shallow center field, and Nolan Brown comes in to make the play. 1 down.
Surprised Larson swung at that pitch. I'm a hitter. I wait. I take a pitch and see if Mattingly will call it or not.
Yeah, after that last one you just saw.
No doubt.
Did you see Scout's reaction?
Yes.
You know that reaction for a catcher where you know it's a strike and you get it, you're throwing it back, and he went, whoa, I didn't hear anything. I mean, everything stopped in the throw back.
Here's shortstop Dalton Guthrie, junior from Sarasota, Florida, has made some tremendous plays in the field. And the breaking ball in there for a strike. What about reverse psychology? You're sitting up there with Larson. You just heard all that yelling going back and forth. You probably know it was a strike. Wherever this next one is, he's got to call it a strike.
He has to, but I'm the hitter. I take a pitch right there. I make him call it a strike.
That's a good one. 0-2.
Breaking stuff is sharp so far.
Guthrie's got a couple of hits here in Omaha, none of them for extra bases. Sixth-round pick of the Phillies. Ooh, filthy. And the first strikeout of the night for Mitchell Traver. There's no doubt about that.
Guys, there's no secret why both teams are here. It's because their pitching has carried them here. You can talk all you want about TCU's offense. Their pitching has been there all season long. Kirk Sarlos has done a phenomenal job all 4 years bringing this team to Omaha.
Now a guy that's got 37 career home runs. J.J. Schwartz is a junior out of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And there's a chance you see him back in a Gator uniform next season.
Could. drafted a lot further than, or a lot later than I think anybody thought he would, especially after the freshman season that he had. This kid can hit. He can really, really hit. He's had a few different strings this year where it hasn't been well, but his last month and a half has been very good. That's a strike. That is a strike. It is not high. That is a strike. I don't even think it's borderline.
No, that's right down the middle.
He did it again. See, did you see Scout?
Yeah. Which then tips off him, Kirk Sarlos, the pitching coach, and Jim Schlossnagel, the manager. Hard to argue, though. We don't obviously have K-zone here.
Work with me on that.
I don't think you need K-zone for that. Right
No.
down the heart of the plate.
No, but I'm saying if you had it here, it would have split it. 2-0. 3-0. All right, Carl. Well, the idea that this has got some backstory to it as a pitcher, how do you try to clear your head?
You got to keep trying to do the same thing. You cannot get off of it because you're going to get some calls over the course of the ball game, and who knows? He might come back around if he sees it enough. But you can't change anything. I mean, Traver is a guy that's going to show you 2 breaking balls. He's going to show you a fastball. That's where the strength is, and you can't go off of your game plan. You just got to roll with it. And throw strike 1. You throw strike 1 with a fastball, you get more guys swinging at that than taking it.
The Alex Lang breaking ball we saw earlier today was
3-2, guys.
unhittable. Travers looks pretty nasty as well. Looking for a second strikeout of the inning. J.J. Schwartz on a 3-2. Tried to sneak a fastball by him, and he stayed alive. He had 8 singles, only 1 extra base hit in that first meeting against TCU, and the 2-3-4 hitters, and 5 for 11 with a couple of RBIs. He's already struck out the 2-hitter. Now the 3-hitter rolls one of the shortstop. Ryan Merrill, the Omaha kid, throws him out. 3 up and 3 down. It's interesting, but nobody with any noise.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. What's in your wallet? And in part by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing. And Lowe's.
Getting set for the second inning, and before we do, let's take a look at how both teams plan for success. It's brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.
Eddie hit on it on the open, and for TCU, continue to force the issue, particularly on the base pass. The problem is now you got to get guys on the base pass, and that didn't happen in the first inning. For Florida, maintain the consistency that they've shown. Offensive, defensive, and on-the-mound consistency. Really, the 2 games here, Florida has been very, very complete.
13 pitches, and it feels like every one has been a strike. Cam Warner, the second baseman of Australia. 6'2", 188-pound senior.
No, that's foul. Hold on.
See, the fastball, the changeup is terrific. So you get about an 8 to 10 mile an hour difference. Pitching when you're 2-0, got to be a little bit easier than the other guy who's trying to get his team to another game on Saturday. Florida's guaranteed at least a game on Saturday if they lose. Otherwise, they're into the championship series. Sullivan calls the pitch 0-2. That one just misses.
So he will do something that you don't see too many guys do really at any level, and that's throw a bunch of 0-2 changeups. Most of the time, you'll see changeups in, maybe plus counts from a hitter standpoint. But his is a swing and miss changeup, and you will see it in 0-2 counts.
"17 home runs have been hit at this College World Series. The weather has been different than years past. The wind has been different, and the baseball is a little different. Warner's got 5 home runs this season. On the corner, and how about 4 up and 4 down, all strikeouts.
Well, we've seen all 3 pitches, and the first 3 strikeouts of the ballgame came on 3 different pitches. 2-seam fastball, locked up Wade. He took it. Now watch the breaking ball. top to bottom curveball. Mikey Rivera just sitting and waiting for it, and then the changeup to Evan Scoug. That circle change that he got over the top of, Scoug couldn't hold up on, came back with a two-seam fastball there to lock up Warner. He's faced 4. He struck them all out. 3 have been looking.
Nolan Brown, the center fielder. Colleyville, Texas. The redshirt senior at 5'11". Strike 1, got speed to burn if he can get on the base paths.
Got that changeup working. See it diving down and away from the left-handed hitter with that velocity you have that he has with the fastball, 93, 10-mile-per-hour differential.
Having Pedro Martinez flashbacks to the '99 All-Star game.
Changeup coming again.
Twenty pitches, 14 of them strikes, 4 strikeout victims. Ahead of Brown, the center fielder. There's another one. How about it? 5 up, 5 down, all strikeouts.
Well, guys, it's been smooth sailing so far for Rivera and Coar, but Mike Rivera, because he's only caught Coar about 3 times this year, J.J. Schwartz usually is Coar's catcher. Before the game, he told me he was a little nervous about how it would go. He said, I need to remind myself exactly what he likes in mound meetings and things like that, but so far, not a whole lot of meeting on the mound. He said when he does go and talk with Coar, he's a very even-keeled, confident guy, no moment too big for him, and he doesn't get nervous.
Yeah. If you had that stuff, Laura, you wouldn't get nervous either. That one's down a little bit to Elliot Barzilli, the third baseman, a transfer out of Georgia Tech, 6'1" senior. Coar had actually been banged around a little bit his last 4 starts. He'd given up at least 8 hits in each of them. On the ground, a short, good hop, and the first non-strikeout, but they go 3 up again. 5 of the 6. Jackson Coar has retired thanks to the strikeout.
Baby, come on, we in good company. Yeah, the only thing missing is a pretty girl sitting here next to me, kissing up on me, and I got a spot waiting on you. So BYOB, it means bring yourself over, babe. Got what we need to make good vibes, good times.
Jake Owen bringing us back. We got a little soft pretzel going. Really hard to describe the atmosphere in Omaha, especially with the great weather that the fans have enjoyed. And the teams, usually you're in the mid-90s, and today in the mid-70s, and the wind is blowing out, so you've got some home runs going. And everywhere you look, you got college jerseys, and they don't necessarily have to be playing here either. You got a couple of major leaguers as well. You got the Cardinals represented. But tonight, purple of TCU, and the Gators wearing their white. Florida 2-0, and their pitching's been outstanding. And tonight, Jackson Coar has faced 6. He's retired all of them, 5 of them, thanks to the strikeout. Nelson Maldonado leads off the bottom of the second, the sophomore who's DHing. He had a brutal trip around the bases the other night. Slipped on first, injured his ankle when he hit third base, and then later diving back into third base, he jammed his shoulder. So we went from the walking wounded to the guy that can't throw the ball very far. The ankle's okay. The shoulder doesn't hurt when he hits.
He can still hit. Good pitch. Talk about Coar, how strong he's looked so far. Traver has looked solid too. Fastball has been low to mid-90s. Breaking ball is solid.
And that's been a real put-away pitch for him, that nasty breaking ball. And Nelson Maldonado, the sophomore from Tampa, Florida, at 5'10", 195, finds himself, like everybody else tonight, behind in the count. 2 for 6 here in Omaha with a double and an RBI. Another breaking ball and a good one, and that one is working for Mitchell Traver, his second strikeout tonight.
You're a Florida Gator right now. You're looking at your own pitcher throwing changeups and curveballs at will. But guess what? Mr. Traver has it going on also with that curveball. Very well located.
In games that Traver has pitched, TCU has enjoyed a lot of success. Kyle talked about the injuries, and there have been a lot of those, but they are 24-11 in games that Traver has pitched in. This is Deacon Lippett. We saw that home run power earlier this week. Second baseman with a 3-run shot. And that one is ripped down the line and right. Looks like it's heading towards the seats, and it is. Lippett is 3 for 7 with that homer and those 3 runs batted in. In last year's College World Series, he was 1 for 6. And Eddie, how do you explain against lefties he hits about 270, against righties he hits about 220?
Throwing the changeup. That's his Achilles heel. They continue to throw it to him if he can't make the adjustment.
Oh, that one almost got him. It did get the umpire. It's probably not going to endear him to the purple any more than we've seen already.
It's a fastball that cut on Traver, too. Jim Schlossnagle talks about Mitchell Traver just beams because he said if there is any kid in this program that should have a bad attitude, it's Mitchell Traver for all of the things that he's fought through since he's been here. Tommy John, before he got there, has not really had a healthy year since he's been there, but he's still the guy in the top step. He's still a leader of this ball club, and when healthy, he's still a guy that we look at as a potential ace on this team. He's fought through a ton.
Speaking of fighting through, how about that hat? That thing's been through some battles,
you only need
too.
one. You only need one.
It looks like that's the one.
That's it. We got one a year. That's all we got. One red hat. Don't lose it.
Guys, Kirk Sarlo said Mitchell Traver is the perfect guy for today with elimination on the line for TCU. He said they're proud of him no matter what because of all those injuries he's fought through. And he said he'll give you every square inch of what he has. He said, look, there are times where this guy looks like he can pitch in the big leagues. There are also times where his body doesn't let him do that.
You get it? You get it?
Spoiled that one. You're getting beaten up if you're behind the plate tonight. That one got scoughed. The one earlier hit the home plate umpire, Steve Mattingly. Fastball blows it by him, and down goes Lippett. 5 up, 5 down on this side of the ledger.
Mitchell Traver's not going to be outdone. Jackson Kowar goes out and deals in his first 2 innings, and Traver's matching him pitch for pitch right now. We've seen the curveball. He showed you a changeup in this at bat too. That time though, just grabs that fastball and lets it go. Threw it right by Deacon Lippett. 3 strikeouts in the game, 2 in this inning.
You're having a lot of fun, aren't you, Kyle?
Yeah.
Jonathan India, first pitch.
I don't know how much you like these.
I don't. I have my arms crossed here waiting for some offense.
No, we can roll these out every time as far as I'm concerned. Just keep throwing BBs.
India, the third baseman, the sophomore, and he's been described by Kevin O'Sullivan as the guy that's got the most upside of anybody in the lineup.
A little up, little in.
Mattingly now giving a dissertation on the call so that Scout can understand why it's not a strike. Little up, little in, we just heard.
It wasn't up. May have been in. A little.
Borderline.
But it was not up.
Well, his definition of up today is a little different than maybe others.
And that's the one thing to really watch with Traver because he needs called strikes on the curveball. And there are some umpires that don't call as many curveballs for strikes. It's breaking a lot more planes. It's not as easy to call that pitch for a strike.
There you go. 2-2. This ball is lifted to left, but it is going to get into the seats.
Mitchell Traver, every pitch that he's made so far, it seems like he's hitting his spots. Right there, wanted the fastball in, hitting Scout's mitt.
6 up, 6 down on one side. 2-2. Staying alive. We've got 5 up and 5 down for Mitchell Traver on this side. The idea that they're striking out a lot for Florida via the TCU arm. TCU this season, 620 plus strikeouts, which was a school record. They struck out 6 Louisville batters the other day. Good try by Scout to frame it.
So, Eddie, with a guy like Traver that you know in every at-bat you're going to get a curveball at some point. If you go deep enough, you're going to get. Do you ever sit only on that? Because you know you're going to get them.
No, I don't. I sit on what I can hit. If I can hit the fastball better, you look fastball because you're also going to get it.
Call strike 3, and he strikes out 4 in the game, 3 in the inning. And he got one there that may have been a little off the plate. So far, though, we have seen 12 batters and not one has reached base.
This is the problem. If you're looking for that heater, you still better adjust to the breaking pitch. You must protect at all costs.
If you love great pitching, you've seen it for the first 2 innings total. Jackson Kowar, 5 strikeouts. All 6 he has faced have been retired. On the other side, 4 strikeouts, and all 6 that Mitchell Traver has been sat down. So something's got to give as Connor Wanhanen, 7, 8, 9 due up for TCU. Once again, TCU needs to win to keep their season alive. If they do, they will force a game tomorrow, which will be to see who gets to the championship series against these Gators. Wanhanen, the first baseman, have a very good NCAA tournament, hitting .368. Once again, first pitch gets ahead with a fastball. Not a very complicated delivery either, Kyle.
No, it's simple, it's repeatable, and it still provides plenty of power. And he can do that. That is a turbo changeup. 25 pitches, 18 strikes so far for Kowar.
Six strikeouts, and all 7 he has faced retired.
Another thing that I like with Kowar tonight, Traver's been the exact same way, but if you get up 0-2, don't waste a pitch. You only have so many bullets during it. Don't waste a pitch. Throw a pitch that they can't hit, and if they swing at it, they're out. But there's no reason to ever waste a pitch. Every pitch has to have a purpose, and it's been that way tonight for Kowar.
Josh Watson, the left fielder, has started every game, 133 in his career. Starts him off with another 2-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour. Sophomore out of Arlington, Texas, 5'11", $195. One for 7 in the College World Series, 208 in the tournament. At some point, they're going to go to the offensive coach and Eddie, ask, what can we do?
Pray right now. Pray that changeup stays up.
Now's a good time to start.
That one missed location, but it was over the plate. Just wondering if Mattingly was going to call it a strike or not.
But he missed location on the lefties. He's been staying away, elevating the fastball, staying away, and this is a good time right now to go to that changeup. Went to the fastball. Pulled it again. To me, the previous pitch served the purpose already. That was the time to go to the changeup. Don't try to get too tricky. The swings have not been good against it.
Looking for his 7th strikeout of the night, and there it is. 8 batters, 7 strikeouts.
This is crazy. The thing, as a hitter, you're looking for the changeup up in the zone. That's why you always have to look fastball and try to adjust to the off-speed pitch. You look up. The problem is when he throws it up, it's already by you if it's the fastball. Trying to look up for that changeup. You don't get it. Work your way right back to that dugout.
The Omaha kid, Ryan Merrill, steps in with all sorts of family and friends. He are rooting him on and watching at home as well.
Pretty cool to see his high school buddies in the stands yesterday. Merrill has now homered both times he's come back to Omaha in the College World Series. Was a part of the All-College World Series team last year. Has homered already this year. Millard West High School, Iowa Western Junior College just across the river.
His mom, Sonia there watching. 3 for 9 in this College World Series.
Outside.
How aware do you think he is as you take a look at the fans and the Ryan Merrill cheering section? How aware is he that he has struck out 7? Is he aware or is he not? Yeah.
I think he's in a bubble right now. I mean, I don't know if he necessarily knows the number.
Ball looked good.
It did look good.
You know, points in the basketball game, shots in a golf tournament. We are aware of these things. Do pitchers, and I know this is individual, did you know?
How many strikeouts?
Yeah.
No.
Especially if it was like 7 of 8.
Not number of strikeouts. No.
Ripped. There's your first hit, and wouldn't you know it, Ryan Merrill from Omaha delivers for TCU, and that ends the streak here. Let's eat some more.
Gotta eat. You have to eat. Fastball up in the zone. This is what happens when you fall behind in the count 3-1. You can have good stuff. But Ryan Merrill stays back on that. You see him backlegging on his buddies in left center field. They're pumped up. Let it eat, baby.
Brings it back to Austin Wade. Remember, Eddie talked about being aggressive on the base paths. Merrill's got 17 steals, not going anywhere. This one to left. Langworthy going back over his head. Merrill to third and being waved in. Throw home. Not in time, and TCU jumps on top 1-0.
Austin Wade did not waste any time. Pitch out over the plate, goes to left field. Langworthy doesn't get a good jump in left field. But watch how he hits the cutoff man right here. And this is where Guthrie has to have his feet moving. Did not have it moving before he catches the ball. Watch the footwork. You have to be squared up with the home plate. That half step right there cost him just a couple feet. The buddies are happy watching Merrill rounding second, headed all the way from third to home.
Slows things down with the changeup. Got a little quick there on Wade's double, and only the second run allowed by Florida pitchers at the College World Series.
That's pretty big right there now. I mean, they hadn't had a good swing the entire ballgame. First time through the order. Merrill gets a 3-1 fastball, shoots it to right field. And then Austin Wade, who has been the best hitter for TCU all season, drives one off the left field wall and gives the Frogs the lead.
Another changeup to Humphreys. Remember, we started out by striking out 7 of the first 8. So with 2 outs, the single, and now a double by Wade brings in a run. And Wade in scoring position for Humphreys, who's in a big hole at 0-2. That one gets away. Wade quickly heads to third base. Who's covering home? Rivera stays home as Coar picks it up, but now it's 90 feet away. He's Austin Wade.
And he pulled a changeup right here, but Mike Rivera, who usually is incredibly solid behind home plate, you got to get down to both knees. That right knee cannot be straight up like it was right here when he went out to block it, because if it gets on the shin guard, that's the one that's going to shoot to the side. It wasn't a great pitch, but it's not Rivera's best effort to go out and block it.
J.J. Schwartz, who has been Coar's catcher the entire season, it's hard to argue with what we've seen so far.
See the right shin guard? Yep. It just never, that knee never got down. And when that shin guard's up in the air, you can't bury that chest protector down. That's where if it hits it, it's going to fly one way or another.
Humphrey stays alive, fouls one off, and again 7 strikeouts for Jackson Kowar. We're in the third. Struck out the side in the first, had 2 in the second, has 2 more here in the third, and he's trying to get Humphreys to bite as well. This one to left center, and it's hit well. Langworthy and Horvath go back. It drops, and it goes over the wall. That's a ground rule double. Another RBI as Austin Wade comes in. 2-0 TCU.
Well, Kyle, it's time for me to join the party. The offense has woken up with 2 outs. Off-speed pitch changeup right here. Stays a little bit up, but the second time through the lineup, the TCU hitters have made the adjustment. Ball stays up, ground rule double. A lot more patient at the plate.
Back-to-back extra base hits, Wade and Humphreys. And now a guy who is certainly capable of an extra base hit, Evan Skaug. On the ground, and it's foul. All these with 2 outs, and again, Kowar had been cruising along. He had 7 strikeouts. Merrill, the number 9 hitter, a sharp single to right. Wade and Humphreys doubles. And that's where we're at, 2-zip. Mitchell Traver had to wonder if anybody was going to give up a run, and now he is seeing his offense give him 2. Late on that one. 95 miles an hour, a little extra velo.
He just does not look comfortable at the plate.
Looks like he's guessing.
7th round pick in the 17 draft. He went to the Chicago White Sox, did Evan Skaug. 0-2, and he's late. We got 8 strikeouts. We got 9 total outs, but we also have 2 runs for TCU, showing all sorts of emotion. Merrill scores first. Wade gets the second. The Horned Frogs need to win to force another game, and they're loving what they're seeing so far. Well, it's like a popcorn popper, and all of a sudden we get some runs here, and the fans out there in left center field got into it. They got their balloons, some beach balls, and they went nuts. And not only that, all the great folks that picked the balls up had a hard time. They were getting drilled by water balloons.
That's a new twist. That's a new twist. I have not seen the water balloons.
Combo beach ball, dodgeball out there.
I have a feeling we may see him again.
There was a popsicle that came down, too.
The bomb pop. Yeah, the bomb pop came out of nowhere.
I don't know. The bomb pop's a little over the top. I like the water. The water balloon's good. You mean like a real ice cream cone thing?
It was inflatable.
Oh, I thought you meant it was a real ice cream.
Bomb pop. No, they're not throwing batteries. We're not in Philly. I mean, it was just water balloons.
Where's Santa Claus? No, the water balloon's fine. Love the water balloons. Here's Austin Langworthy. So does Florida have an answer? Mitchell Travers had one of the great breaking balls we've seen here in Omaha this College World Series. And gets ahead 0-1. 4 strikeouts, 6 batters, 7, 8, 9. Langworthy, Rivera, and Horvath. Be a good test. Langworthy's really good when it comes to knowing the strike zone. There's a good take there to get ahead 2-1. Inflatable. Wild swing at one that looked up and away. 38 strikeouts on the season, 33 walks. Emergency hack to stay alive. lot of action out there in the bleachers, and it is full. Popped up right back here, but not going to reach us. Langworthy's one of 6 guys on the Gator roster. And they're two-way players. And they play the field and they pitch. Career of Brendan McKay at Louisville is over, the 4th round pick of the Cardinals last night.
Three baseballs, please.
One thing you don't usually see, and I don't know if you see it a lot here. I don't remember seeing it, but Dan McDonald got thrown out of that game yesterday, huh?
And in my opinion, should not have been thrown out of that game. I don't think he did enough yesterday to get thrown out. No, you're right. I mean, we rarely see that here.
Guys, that was a quick hook.
It was way too quick.
Talking about it being the College World Series, and you expect the manager to go out there and at least
long leash here.
You have to have a long leash.
I don't know what he said. I guess I don't really care. It didn't seem like there was enough. And the minute that it happened, he turned around and walked away. Like, yeah, I don't know. If you're going to run a guy, it's got to be more than that.
9th pitch of the at-bat, and he picks up his 5th strikeout and 4th in a row. Here comes Mike Rivera, a little gimp in the step. Take a look at Rivera after that inning. After that inning ended, he kind of slipped a little bit. He looks back at what it was that caused him to slip. So we'll keep an eye on that ankle to make sure he's all right running around the bases. If he can get on the bases, that's a huge challenge against Traver. Hasn't given up anything yet. Through 2 1/3. And the TCU got their runs with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. The Indians took him in the 6th round. You cannot stress enough how important Rivera is to the team. Forget the pitching staff, the team. This ball is driven to left, and if it's fair, it is gone. Way gone for Mike Rivera. That ankle's okay now.
Well, it feels good when you take 3 left turns now after a home run. Pitch down and in, and he just drops the head on it. Mike Rivera. That ball was hit well.
I think he knew that he got this one, Eddie.
You think?
Did you see the reaction?
I'll tell you who's happy right now. It's his grandfather watching this. Grandfather Willie in Puerto Rico. Pitch down and in. Check him out. You think he knows? Oh, yeah. He knows.
Still coming back from that hamate injury, too. So for Mike Rivera, he's only been full. I don't even think he is full strength right now, but he's only been swinging a bat for about the last 3.5, 4 weeks, maybe. He got all of that one. Now somebody's going to wear the Powerade cooler full of water in the Florida dugout, too. There you go.
Same guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of those guys, they all pick a player to go deep, and when that player does go deep, they're the ones that have to apparently celebrate. Rivera's 3rd home run. That breaking ball is up.
Yeah, guys, same trainer for Florida down here getting the ice bath, and he actually picked Deacon Lippett and Mike Rivera the other day when this happened. He got the same pick today, and turns out they actually draw these names out of a hat. So what are the chances of that he would continually get the same 2 guys? But they have 5 of them that draw him out of a hat. So they've all got their picks. He's pretty wet, pretty cold.
Yeah, most nights this time of year you wouldn't mind just wearing it. Most nights you wouldn't mind. It's going to get a little chilly down there tonight.
Another one up, and now behind 3-0 for Rivera. His first home run since March 31st at Missouri. In there for a strike. So the way it works, Kyle, too, at ESPN 24 years ago, you got 30 games. 30 teams, 15 games, and in screening where all the production assistants were watching the baseball games. So it's not just one, but it's 15 games. They would have a deep pool, which is very similar to what they do here. Nobody would get a ice bath, but everybody would pick a name. He's going deep, gonna go yard tonight. I think it's Sosa again, or it's McGuire, whatever it was. And you had, 40 to 50 people in the deep pool. I think, if I recall, you could put a quarter in or something like that, and then the winner would win the deep pool. So you got names here, but this was all of Major League Baseball. Eduardo's up. I got him in the deep pool.
Just mayhem if somebody went deep.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Just keep throwing quarters in. The deep pool was spectacular. Apparently Florida's enjoyed that this year with the water coolers. That's the one he calls for a strike. There's no doubt that early on, Mattingly's strike zone on breaking balls is the low strike.
Yep.
Pretty good answer, too. Florida, they had done nothing at all. Rivera, the leader on the team, goes deep. And now a walk to Horvath sends us back to Larson with one down.
It's a big home run also, and to get the bottom half of the lineup to answer back after 2 runs that TCU posted in the top of the 3rd.
Sarlos is coming out. That was interesting because it looked as if Skaug was going to get it and throw it to first, and Horvath was retreating to first, trying to beat what he thought was going to be a throw, and in doing so, when the ball got away from Skaug, he couldn't then go to second.
Momentum was taking it back.
Second.
Momentum was taking it back to first. Yeah, if it's a normal secondary and that happens, he's probably off to second base, but that one had to take that one hard step back to first just to make sure that Skaug wasn't going to let it go. There's the normal secondary. Right about now, he sees potentially it's coming back, but it's just too late. Made the right move. I mean, if Skaug goes that way, you got to make sure you get back.
Yep. Mentioned that TCU had stolen over 100 bases. Florida's a pretty good running team, 82 steals, 110 attempts. But they've won with pitching and defense. And until the single and back-to-back doubles, Kowar had been outstanding. Traver throws over. So both pitchers, 3rd inning, a little bump in the road after what appeared to be sort of a record-setting pace by both. Traver sits here with 5 strikeouts. Kowar has 8 through 3 innings.
That's a good lead. It's long enough that if you can see it out of the corner of your eye on the mound, you can tell that it's out there a ways, but yet Horvath has still plenty of time to get back.
It's Alex Faedo, who went to the same high school and idolized the former Miami Marlin Jose Fernandez. He was a freshman when Fernandez was leading his team to a state championship at Alonzo High School. And Laura will talk with Alex Faedo next half inning. Another throw over, and you see sliding back in with Horvath.
Horvath might not like it. All you have to do is take a shorter lead.
One-two to Larson. Breaking ball, he spoiled it. How hard to identify his breaking ball, Eddie, versus the curveball, versus the fastball? Because it looked like he saw that enough that he could spoil it.
It is. It's a little difficult to do so, especially now the sun just popped up in the background. But good action both on the fastball and the curveball. That last one was a slide step also. He's
2-2.
He's 6'7" up there on the mound, so this is coming downhill at you.
No one has stolen a base on Traver this year. They've only tried 3, but they're 0 for 3 in stolen base attempts this year against Mitchell Traver. Bet he's running here.
You have to run in there. It's a good time. Try to stay away from the double play and get one in the gap. You can score them.
Throw a lot of strikeouts, you throw a lot of pitches. 55 now. Runner goes. That's high, and 2 are on. Eight o'clock Central Time here. 9 o'clock East Coast time is the NCAA College World Series double elimination format. Still got 4 teams left. LSU, a winner today. Oregon State, a rare loss. 56-4 coming into the game. They lose. They're 56-5 now. LSU. They beat them. Our game, TCU has to win. Double elimination. So you lose twice when you get here and you go home. Florida can move to the finals. Faeda would be in line to start game 1. Singer would be in line to go game 2, and they'd have it all set. But they got to beat TCU, who's got a 2-1 lead. Breaking ball off the plate. And Dalton Guthrie quickly ahead. Way outside, he tugged that one. Kyle, you talked about it too. They need to get some depth here. Sean Weimer, if you didn't see it yesterday, was outstanding for TCU, but he threw a lot of pitches and a lot of innings.
Yeah, how good was he? Huh?
Unhittable.
Sean Weimer's going to pitch in big leagues. I mean, it's a 3-pitch mix, fastball into the mid-90s, and has starter stuff. But it's just filled the role of being that kind of do anything out of the bullpen for TCU.
2-0 square to bunt. That's in there for a strike. 2-1.
Kirk Saarloos yesterday after the game jokingly told him, hey, by the way, you have the off day tomorrow. So one guy that Florida does not have to worry about tonight.
There it was, 4 1/3, and he struck out 5. He threw 56 pitches. So while they have some activity out in that bullpen, Weimer is gone. This one is hit deep to left field, down the line and getting into the corner. It goes off the wall. 1 run's coming in and right behind, held up at third and out at third base. The trail runner. They get Ryan Larson, but they do tie the game up. And boy, that shot off the bat of Guthrie had flashbacks to what happened earlier today. It looked like it hit very close to that yellow foul line that extends down from the fence.
Yeah, I think the question on this is whether or not it was going to stay fair, but to me it looked like it absolutely did stay fair. We've already had a few of these today. Balls that go that deep, but see where this one hits earlier today on the line? This one is about 4 inches away from being a home run, but ball stays in the ballpark. Craig Bell's the third base coach, and I think that one's tough all the way around because Ryan Larson is not that far behind Horvath. And the stop sign went up a little bit late. Bell was not all that deep, but he had 2 guys pretty close. I think he scores.
Yeah, he scores. Bell was not in the right position at third base, though, to make that wave around third. Has to be a little bit deeper, has to be in the eyesights of both, but deeper in the box. That way the trail runner can see him when he sends it. This play is being reviewed. And I think it has a lot to do with what happened in the earlier game. It was the right call. See where it hits right on the padding, right under the foul pole.
That's about as close as you can possibly be to hit to missing a home run.
Yeah, it's like, you said 4. That's like
an
1
inch.
You see the indentation right there on the yellow stripe? Ball's in play. Great call on the field.
Absolutely it was. Jeff Heads, the third base umpire, was down the line on that one.
You're a third base coach. You cannot be so deep when you're making that wave around third.
Right. Yeah, so ground rule double. I mean, I should say double, not a ground rule double. Fair ball double. Earlier today, we had a play in which there was not a review, and the NCAA has subsequently said that the umpire, it is at his discretion ultimately to decide whether the play gets reviewed. Pat Casey of Oregon State came out. He basically got word from his own third base coach. You know, I think it was a foul ball. That ball was called foul. It clearly, when looking at it, showed that it was fair. But after the game, there was some blame put on the umpires, the crew chief, for not saying, let's review it. That is a reviewable play. It led to a lot of discussion during the game you did earlier, Kyle, with Chris Burke, Tom Hart as well, but that corner's been peppered.
How about, from here to here today, how much action that has got all the way down the left field line? It's pretty crazy. Just an area that you wouldn't think, you don't see very much.
Oregon State got hurt by that, and ultimately you learn when it's reviewable, and there's any question, you ask to have it reviewed. You have to ask. I think we may be looking down the road at a little more expanded instant replay, especially at the College World Series. When you have all these angles and all these cameras and every play means something, not suggesting that you replay every play, but there's enough close plays, and we've seen that it can work with a good system in place. It doesn't take a lot of time. Oregon State got hurt a little bit today. Wasn't the reason they lost, but it would have changed that inning for sure. Pretty interesting the way both these pitchers went into the third. Kowar got 2 outs. Florida just picked up their second out, but Traver struggles in the third inning too a little bit here.
There was not a good swing in the first 2 innings on either side. Both guys were so dominant.
Then all of a sudden, when you put them on the stretch,
yes,
they became very inconsistent with location.
Schwartz, this one has popped up. Might be trouble down that first baseline. Who's going to get there? The right fielder manages to get over there, and it's Austin Wade. But we got a new ball game. TCU 2, Florida 2. Bottom of the order does it for the Gators. Similarly, bottom did it for TCU. Mike Rivera likes what he sees. And we are through 3. We're just chilling here in Omaha.
You're watching the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One, joined here by Florida pitcher Alex Faedo. And your good buddy, Mike Rivera, with the big home run. Looked like he was pretty sure that was a home run.
Yeah, he told me that he thought it was going foul. He doesn't like pimping home runs, and I think the wind kept it fair, and it caught him by surprise.
What can you say about this offense getting back in this thing and tying it up?
That was awesome that we could get a couple rebound runs. That's what we call them, scoring after giving up some runs. So that was awesome to get momentum back a little bit.
How would you describe what Jackson Kowar has done so far in this game?
He looks electric right now. A couple of those pitchers were really close that last inning, and they hit some really good pitches, so he looks really good.
You were able to have a great deal of success against this TCU lineup just the other day when this was your first game here at the College World Series for this team. How were you able to do that?
Just locating whatever Sully called and just trying to execute my pitches. Good team, but if you execute your pitches, you should have a little bit of success.
How would you describe the way that you and Coach O'Sullivan and Mike Rivera are on the same page in a game?
I think all three of us are pretty fiery, so I think we all like to pitch kind of aggressive. We just try to go right at people.
Where does your fire come from?
Maybe the passion for the game. That's it. I just like competing. That's it.
So we're seeing Mike Rivera go out here and talk to Kowar right now. What do you think he's saying?
We just put up 2 for you right now. We need you to just get a ground ball right here and attack the zone, and no leadoff walks because those always seem to score.
Yeah, Coach O'Sullivan said the message before the game to Kowar was don't let the leadoff man on. Why is that so important to get around?
They got a lot more. They could bunt him over. They could hit and run. Anything could happen. They get right back into scoring position, and keeping the leadoff guy out or off the bases really prevents big innings.
You're a big fan of corny jokes. You've got some jokes on your notepad here. What do you got for me?
All right. So this is our bad jokes thing right here. You have jokes for me?
I do have jokes for you.
What happens when you cross an elephant with a rhino?
I have no idea, but it doesn't sound good.
Elefino.
That was pretty good. Thanks so much. Guys, I'll tell you my jokes later, okay?
Yep, we'll wait. There's video out there tweeted by the Gators baseball team about corny jokes. They sit at tables and they hope to make the guy across from them laugh. Kyle,
I'd bid on that one.
Brimming from ear to ear with a smile. I don't think Kevin O'Sullivan's chuckling right now, so the leadoff man, Warner, is on. That brings up the speedy Nolan Brown.
I'll tell you one thing that this team does not do is bunt. 3 in the entire season.
That one gets away. Rivera struggling behind the plate tonight. A rare off night for Rivera early, and down to second base goes Warner.
Well, it's rare because he's not used to catching man on the mound. Kowar, you look at that pitch, fastball, you can't block that. You just have to try to trap it the way he did right there.
Pace is different.
Oh, totally.
Pace is different this inning. I mean, his first 3 innings. I mean, he struck out Scout to end the third, but I thought that the pace was rhythmic. I mean, he got it and went. He got it and went. From the first pitch this inning, the pace just looks more deliberate, slower. Doesn't look nearly as comfortable.
Let's get into Kevin O'Sullivan a little bit here. In his 10th season trying to get the Gators their first championship. You heard Alex Faedo just reference, what Sully calls we throw or I throw, and we usually have great success. So give us a little peek into the personality. What makes O'Sullivan go?
Well, he is fiery, and I think that his teams play that way. He recruits guys that are the same way. I think that's why he and Mike Rivera have had such a good relationship from a head coach / pitching coach to a catcher, because they kind of have the same mentality when it goes to that. He demands a ton, and if it doesn't happen, you absolutely hear about it. But he's also an incredible perfectionist. I mean, from a preparation standpoint, you will see Florida ball clubs as prepared as anybody that you'll see in this entire country. But he'll jump you sometimes, that's for sure. And that's fine. You want a coach like that.
How about his level of involvement in every aspect?
It's there, yeah. Almost every sign that you see during the course of the game in some way is going to be generated by Kevin O'Sullivan.
So you say this is about pacing? That's why he's not doing what he did the first couple innings?
And it just seems different. And I guess I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it seemed different when he was out of the windup. Just seems hit. More deliberate. And
he got hit.
Well, that's part of it, but he struck out Scout to end and kind of looked like he had earlier in the ballgame. Again, I've seen him a lot in the last 2 years. What he did in the first 2 2/3 innings, I hadn't seen that.
He was in that bubble you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, you're out there sometimes and you just don't think. You get the baseball, they put a sign down, you shake your head one way and you throw. For a lot of us, I was one of these, the minute you start thinking is where you get into trouble.
286 hitter Nolan Brown. Puts another one outside, 3-1 to first base open. Elliot Barzilli on deck. Warner reached on a walk. He's now at second base after a wild pitch.
It's a 3-1 count. Infield just has to play back. Corners have to be back here. First baseman's actually in very good position there.
Two game, top of the fourth. TCU has to win to play tomorrow. Otherwise, we got one of our 2 championship series teams. It would be the Gators. They started out 2-0, and so did Oregon State. The Beavers lost earlier today. LSU got them behind Alex Lang and Zach Hess. Terrific 1-2 combination. 3-2. Strike 3. Nice strikeout of the night. This week, NL Central. That's what we have for you Sunday night. Busch Stadium, St. Louis. It's the Pirates and the Cardinals. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern Time. Baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. It streams live on the ESPN app. And our friend Buster Olney, the Vanderbilt graduate, did the Fireball Express podcast today. We were talking about these 2 teams, guys. And Eddie, the crossroads the Pirates find themselves in, and perhaps Garrett Cole, who, of course, was a great pitcher for UCLA, and when they make the decision to move some of their
all right, guys, here we go.
pieces.
Let's get this thing going.
Cardinals have not had a good year at all. Cubs have been brutal relative to a World Series championship last year. So a big game Sunday night in the NL Central. Barzilli bats back up the middle off the foot of Kowar. Will he have time to throw him out? No, he won't.
Saved the run, though.
Smart decision, too. See a lot of pitchers right there. They'll just wing it to first base. He saw exactly where Barzilli was, held on to it. think this is a very good visit also by Mike Rivera. Make sure his pitcher's okay, hitting off his foot. I don't know how pitchers do it. So close right there to the hitter. In harm's way all the time, hitting his foot. You're right, saved the run.
Saved the run. That ball gets through, Warner's going to score.
So challenges for Jackson Kowar, who came into this game 12-0. Now got first and third, Connor Wanhanen, the junior veteran first baseman. Struck out his first time up. But look at the numbers at the College World Series. He's been their most effective hitter, 4 for 9. A whole bunch of RBIs.
4 out of the 6 hitters, second time around the lineup, have gotten on base. He started all of them with fastballs.
Strike one.
That's a guy they'd love to have in this lineup right now. Lucan Baker looks on from that TCU bench. Burst into the college baseball world last year, had a massive offensive year, but a broken left arm on a play at first base took him out of the lineup about a month ago.
Fifth time in the last 6 years, and he was part of the most recent one, that TCU has been to the College World Series. 5th time in 6 years. In there for a strike. They've been here the last 3, 14, 15, 16. Jim Schlossnagle has built a giant down there, Fort Worth, with this TCU program. Similarly, Gainesville, what Kevin O'Sullivan has done in his 10 years to turn things around. 14th season for Schlossnagle on the TCU bench. 0-2, big pitch coming to Wanhanen. Strikes him out. 10th strikeout of the night for Jackson Kowar here in the 4th.
Goes to that fastball up again, 0-2. He's keeping the hitters off balance. When they're guessing changeup, he comes with the heat. And that was guessing right there. You're sitting changeup on an 0-2 pitch. On a pitch that should be unhittable. If he does throw it, it would be down and away. You have to be able to sit up on the fastball.
4 innings in, Kyle, we've tied the career high in strikeout numbers for Kowar with 10.
Yeah, I think he feels okay tonight. Stuff is not a doubt when you look at Jackson Kowar. It's consistency that has been the challenge for him.
60 pitches. For 10 strikeouts and 3 2/3, actually, you could say economical.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Fastball here.
Josh Watson, center field on the nose. Horvath going back, and it's off his glove and over his head. 1 run is in, rounding third with the second run. 2-3 with a triple is Watson, and the 8-hitter gives TCU a 4-2 lead.
That's a very good sign for TCU because Josh Watson last year had 11 home runs. It was real projectable power. This year he's had 1, and the swing just hasn't looked consistent. Shows he still has some juice. This ball goes over the head of Horvath, who is the best defensive center fielder that Florida has. He's in there today because Maldonado can't play defensively. Maldonado DHs, Horvath pushes into the ballgame defensively, but just playing a little bit too shallow. I think when you look at the numbers of Watson, you don't think that he has the power. You look at the history of Watson and you realize that the power is there. He just hasn't shown it that much this year.
Horvath stopped for a second, took a step in actually, and then he retreated, and it went right off the top of his glove.
But he was playing way too shallow. The way the wind's blowing, this had nothing to do with the wind, but still, you want to play a little bit deeper. Bottom line is this. Kowar continues to throw first pitch fastball. TCU waiting for it and going with it. Now you're going with a changeup.
What's that? Yeah, here you go.
Now Merrill, who got things started in the 3rd inning.
I think we will look back at Merrill's at bat, if TCU wins this ball game, as a turning point in this game because the first 8 guys of the ball game could do nothing.
Yep.
3-1 fastball. He shoots it to right field, and with 2 outs, TCU would score 2 runs in the 3rd.
TCU's done all their damage tonight with 2 outs. And that was the first triple. We've had a ton of home runs at this College World Series. That was the first triple of this College World Series.
And all the damage continues to be with 2 outs against Kowar.
Yeah, all 4 runs scored with 2 outs. TCU's done some damage with 2 outs this entire tournament. We got an odd line going for Kowar. This one left center field. Langworthy goes over and makes the play. You got 10 strikeouts. You got 5 hits. 3 of them for extra bases, 2 doubles and a triple. And the 8 and 9 hitters, Watson and Merrill, have done a lot of the damage for the Horned Frogs.
Batter's out here at the plate.
Tremendous inside look at what's going on down the diamond here at TD Ameritrade. Over 70 microphones being used by the ESPN crew for this College World Series, and it has been a terrific World Series so far. You get some of college baseball's best programs on the field, and 2 of them on display tonight, TCU and Florida. Kyle Peterson, Eduardo Perez, Laura Rutledge down on the field, along with a lot of beach balls that have been thrown from now the right field crew. So the blue shirts have gone out and tried to collect all those. They didn't get pelted by the water balloons in right field. The left field bleacher creatures a little tougher, a little crueler, a little nastier. Right field just went all beach ball on us, and as a result, little delay, but now we're set to go. TCU 2 runs in the 3rd and 4th, and they lead it by 2. First pitch for Mitchell Traver is up to Nelson Maldonado, the designated hitter tonight. Jammed his shoulder in the last game, and he hasn't fully recovered. It was painful watching him out in right field when he went back out to play. Try to hold up, and he went.
Nelson owns a .455 on base percentage coming into this game. Crucial that he gets on here and try to answer back what TCU put on the board.
Maldonado, I'll tell you what's hard to do. 50 walks, 23 strikeouts. 50 walks and 23 strikeouts. Usually it's always the other way around. He's walked twice as many times as he has struck out. But he's got 2 strikes on him now. He struck out his first time up.
A lot of that is he is a very good fastball hitter. He can turn a fastball around, so he's fine from a patience standpoint, waiting as long as he possibly can.
How about the amount of break on that Traver ball, especially when it gets to home plate?
I do think that's one reason why it's been tougher to get a called strike on that pitch, because it moves so much.
That one hung a little bit. Here comes the first baseman, but Juanjan's not going to be able to get there. We had a conversation once. It was one of the great conversations because it is a hard concept to understand. How is it? Pedro Martinez was involved in it. How do you get the ball to break at its 60th foot versus earlier? How do you do that? And it just led to this whole dialogue because there's a concept that's hard for people to understand. Traver throws a ball that breaks right at home plate. Why doesn't it break earlier? Oftentimes you bounce one into the dirt. That's the one that breaks earlier. But the idea that you have been able to figure out how to get a baseball to break, Kyle, at 60 feet 1 inch when it's 66 to get to the home plate.
That's when you go to the Hall of Fame.
That's that late action, right?
Yeah.
But how come it's
That's
60
when you
feet
pitch for
6?
a long time. It's when you hear hitters talk about the fastball explodes at the plate.
Right.
That's essentially what they're saying. Is that ball just has a little bit more movement when it gets right to home plate. Who were those guys? Who were those guys that you faced that had just that little bit of extra giddy up?
John Smoltz. He had giddy up and then some.
I mean, Mariano was the greatest. You know, the ball would cut at about the same time every time.
but you expected it. You know, you're hoping that it cuts. That's the thing with Mariano. It's different than any other hitter, any other pitcher when you're facing.
All right, then Kenley Jansen now. Let's see Kenley Jansen's numbers.
He hasn't walked anyone.
Really not walked
50
anyone.
strikeouts, no walks.
No one.
That's obscene.
With the cutter, manipulating that pitch. The only way to hit Mariano was if the cutter was thrown at you. He's a right-handed hitter.
This is sky high. Scout's trying to pick it up, and he has. Oh, and he makes a nice sliding catch for the out.
That's staying focused right there, and it's all about the wind that's blowing out. Watch where this starts. He's tracing it. He's following it that way, and then all of a sudden, wind's blowing out, circles it, stays focused and around it. Goes around Steve Mattingly. Any pop-up hit in the infield, I used to yell, panic, panic, panic. That meant somebody help me, please. If you heard me yell, don't panic, that means I have it, no problem. Never said I have it, I have it, I got it.
Pretty straightforward.
That's it, panic.
You literally would yell panic.
Panic. Everybody that knows me and played with me, it was panic. Or don't panic. They just thought I was yelling at them. I'm talking to myself.
Jonathan India, that ball is pulled. Kind of a weird coincidence, but the last 3 outs recorded have all been made in foul territory. And there's a ton of that basically between home and those cutouts down the line and left and right. A lot of foul territory here at TD Ameritrade. This one is not foul. It's on the ground of the shortstop. Merrill stayed down, but he got stuck.
No, he moved his feet. He has to move his feet.
Yep.
Yes, that's the thing. You stay still. You're waiting for the ball. The ball's going to play you if you stay back like that. That's the beauty of being an infielder. Right there, look at him. He's flat-footed waiting for it. Where's the ball? It's going to play you. You have to continue to move your feet, and you play the ball. Right there, he's waiting for it way too long, and that hop right there got to him. You have to be able to go around that baseball, attack the baseball, then follow the throw through.
So another life. We'll see if the error helps Florida. Austin Langworthy. First pitch fastball in there for a strike. Gators have been very good with runners on, hitting over 370. There's a great changeup, though. Oh, 0-2. He's got 5 strikeouts and a 4-2 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Runner's going. High throw. It sails into center field, but that's where India will stay. Job by Nolan Brown. Simple thing. It happens a lot in college and the major leagues, but sometimes the little leaguers forget about it. That's why you got to back up that throw down to second.
That's got to be an out. That has to be an out, and that's 2 in a row. Ground ball to shortstop that was a gimme, and that time Scout got all the time in the world just to airmail it out to center field.
Two and two. Amazing because he was able to be had. He's 13 for 13 at stolen bases. When I saw Scout go up to throw, I figure he's out.
Oh, yeah. He'd have been out 2 or 3 steps.
First successful stolen base off Traver all season.
Mm-hmm.
Three and two. A little traffic on the bases for Traver, and all of a sudden He's in danger of walking Langworthy. The next guy up is Mike Rivera. The last time up, Rivera hit a home run, and it was a big one down the line and left. A lot of damage done in this game with 2 down.
It's about the extra pitches also. After that error, you're looking at 6 extra going on 7 here.
Jam shot right off the chest of home plate umpire Steve Mattingly is going to take that walk around. You don't blame him. That one came right at him.
Don't flinch.
That's a great look at Evan Skog, who's looking up at the home plate umpire. Dude, I feel you. You okay? Take his time. Maybe trainer come out to make sure he's okay. I got him right in the chest. I want to remind everybody, for more on the 2017 College World Series, including the top headlines and highlights, log on to ncaa.com. Well, this greatest show on dirt started with the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, the Gators, the Seminoles, LSU, Louisville, Oregon State, Texas A&M, and TCU. And we are now down to our final 4. Were you surprised at all that Oregon State, who had been 56-4, were able to be held in check so well by Alex Lang, who was the 30th pick, the last pick of the first round by the Chicago Cubs? That's just one of those old baseball axioms. Great pitching is going to shut down any offense.
Yeah, he gave up 2 hits. I think part of it is I've seen him so much in the last 3 years, and you know what Lang can do to really good offenses when he's controlling the fastball. And we got a little bit misfire for 1 inning, but besides that, he was locked in the whole night. He beat a very, very good team. Obviously, we came into this one 56-4, but for Alex Lang, fastball control sets up everything else. And the control of the fastball today was brilliant. Of the 8 strikeouts, 5 were on the fastball. And the curveball is what we talk about plenty, and that's what really separates Alex Lang from everybody else. But the fastball command today was the key because it allowed everything else to work. Pitched into the 8th inning. Zach Hess came on and looked like an all-star closer.
There was a lot of late action on Hess also.
Yeah.
That was filthy.
Cut, some are straight. A few sliders that were nasty.
Season low 2 hits for Oregon State, and it was their first loss since April of 29 against USC. April 29th to USC. That was April 29th.
It was almost 2 months ago.
Here we are, June 23rd. So that's a walk after that delay. Mattingly stays in the game, the home plate umpire, but Langworthy walks, and here comes home run guy Rivera. This is what it looked and sounded like in the 3rd.
Pitch down and in, and he knew that it was long enough, just did not know. For Alex Faedo told us did not know it was going to be fair or foul, but the wind brought it back.
That'll do it. They've seen enough from Mitchell Traver. So the taxed bullpen will be taxed again in the bottom of the 4th. 82 pitches enough, and they want to see Rivera again with Traver after the homer. Everyone, among the many, and I mean many, great attractions here in Omaha, the Omaha Zoo. You think about San Diego, the Bronx Zoo. I don't mean Yankee Stadium, but the literal Bronx Zoo. The Omaha Zoo rivals any in the country.
I get wrapped.
I've been there a few times.
Get on the train.
Oh, I'm on it. I drank the Omaha Kool-Aid.
2017, number 2 in the country, the Omaha Zoo, right behind the St. Louis Zoo.
St. Louis Zoo. I haven't been to the St. Louis Zoo yet. This one is tremendous. All right, remember this inning was kept alive by that shortstop error. That brings in the King, Charles King. Numbers don't jump off the page at you, but remember we mentioned what happened last night, and they had to tap into their bullpen, and this really is, in a sense, the penalty for losing a game. I mean, you're just taxing your bullpen so much. Unless you have an Alex Lang who can give you 8 innings or 7+, and you go to one guy, and it saves the bullpen. More often than not, coming out of that loser's bracket, this is the cost.
It is, but if you're Jim Schlossnagle and you said Mitchell Traver's going to leave this game and you're going to be ahead, if that's the third or the fourth or the fifth, I think you would take it every time because now at least there's a little bit of room for error. Rivera homered his last time up on a fastball down and in, and he will face a very good fastball here. Charles King can run it up into the mid-90s.
I'm talking to Rivera earlier on. I talked to him. He told me, hey, my idols, Ivan Rodriguez and Yadier Molina. Ivan Rodriguez right now just texted me. He said he's watching Mike Rivera's at-bat right now. So Jose and Ivan, you're watching. Here we go. Hall of Famer this year, being inducted in a month.
First pitch from Charles King just into the game to Rivera. High 1-0. Seems like, what do they feed them down there in Fort Worth? Every TCU pitcher's like 6'6", 6'7". We saw big game Howie's like 6'9".
A lot of beef. Steaks every meal. Just like here, Rev.
Guys, Kirk Sarlo's talking about the big body of Charles King. He said he actually reminds him a little bit of Alex Faedo with the electric fastball. He said he has to sharpen his breaking ball, but Sarlos thinks King could have starter-like stuff.
Any comparison to that guy is pretty good. TCU bullpen, 11 innings, 6 hits, no runs here at the College World Series. And in the tournament, a 1.31 ERA. There's the first strike from King tonight. There's that bullpen and that number I just gave you, the 131, 3 earned, 24 Ks and 5 walks. That's the NCAA tournament. No runs allowed at the World Series. Will that Merrill era hurt him? Breaking ball, low part of the zone. That's been a strike all night from Steve Mattingly.
That's a big pitch. 2-1. That would have a little bit down and away. Would have been called. It would have been 3-1, turning everything around for Mike Rivera, but right on the knees. Great location.
Stayed off it. We go full with 2 outs. Everybody will be moving here. India is second base after his 13th steal. Langworthy at first. See in the background there some of those TCU pitchers starting to loosen up even more. We'll get ourselves Johnny Holstaff game tonight. Everything on the line for TCU. Got to win or the season ends.
I think for TCU, you're going to see Coughlin tonight. You're going to see Feltman tonight.
Coughlin's made 23 appearances and Feltman 28. No, way outside. Ball 4. So the bases are loaded.
Interesting, the last 2 choices of pitches for Austin Langworthy. It was a 3-2 slider. That took Traver out of the game. And then Mike Rivera here again, 3-2. Went with the off-speed pitch.
And it's his second best pitch. There's some guys that will come in and that break a ball is their best pitch and a pitch that they can control the most. But for Charles King, it's not. Stole a strike with it 2-1 and then couldn't get it back over the plate.
Nick Horvath walked and scored a run. That was back in the 3rd. The bottom of the order has done the damage for the Gators tonight. Fastball popped up but out of play. Get into a different mode, Eddie, when you had the bases loaded and you were hitting?
You know that the pitcher has to come to you. He has nowhere else to put you. Can't trick you too much. It's important that you get ahead in the count. Now 0-1, fouling off a Cookie. Now you have to work.
Frisbee type slider there, and it was a bad swing from Horvath, who was fooled on it. Big chance for the Gators, who just gave up 2 runs in the top half of the fourth, to come back and make it closer. If not, tie it or take a lead. Be careful with another one of those too far out. You got India sitting there at third base waiting on a pass ball. Inside corner. Missed his spot, but it worked beautifully. We had the strikeout, and they leave him loaded.
Wasn't exactly where he wanted to throw it, but for Charles King, you don't much mind now. Slider trying to go away, kind of backed up on him a little bit. Horvath couldn't pull the trigger, and the Gators leave the bases loaded in the fourth.
Back with TCU head coach Jim Schlossnagle. And Coach, what can you say about the way that Charles King was able to come in there and get the strikeout to leave the bases loaded?
Well, he wasn't supposed to walk a guy first, but he's a young guy who's this obviously is a new environment for him, but he's had a good year for us, and we're certainly going to count on him to give us a little, 2 or 3 good innings here.
Able to make some adjustments against Coar, second time through the lineup. How can you continue to do that going forward? Well,
I think we just have to, try and lay off that changeup. He's really good, and just try and put good swings on fastballs.
What is it about this veteran team that gets up for games like this?
Well, I don't know that they get up. It's actually the opposite. I think they just play, even keel, and they have great presence, and they've been here 1,000 times.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
You guys are getting up, though, so maybe it's you I'm talking about.
You're right, Laura. You know it. You know it. Booth is rocking tonight. And we get ourselves a 4-2 game as we head to the 5th inning. So it says something when you can say they've been here 1,000 times. Not a lot of programs can say they've been there 1,000 times, even if it's tongue-in-cheek. But the run that Jim Schlossnagle and the Horned Frogs are on is legit. They got a win to stay alive. TCU wins. They're in the championship series. Top of the 5th, first batter. First pitch is in there for a strike from Jackson Coar. Hasn't seemingly lost anything when it comes to velocity. The delay is another beach ball that has made its way onto the warning track, and it's about as far as you could have to run. It's a collection behind that center field wall. Good hustle points. Austin Wade called strike 2. So we've got 92 and 81, and we're ahead with 10 strikeouts. And a very efficient 66 pitches thrown for Coar.
Yeah, here you go.
Austin Wade immediately pointed, said, "We checked that one, get rid of that ball." Difference, one of the big differences in college baseball. That ball hits the dirt, you throw it back to the pitcher. You don't throw it out all the time. Major League, get rid of it.
They don't even ask anymore.
1,000 baseballs. There you go. Another changeup, backed him up with one, and now we got strikeout number 11 for Jackson Coar.
I want to see more of that one again, Eddie. First few innings, it seemed like the changeup was playing bigger than for a lot of the damage that TCU has done. They've done on fastballs. That time, changeup comes back. Now, not all of it. I think Barzilli hit a changeup. There was one changeup that was pulled to left. No, Humphreys hit a changeup. Besides that, though, the changeup tonight from Coar has been very good.
In a good groove there with the slider at 78 miles an hour.
This inning, he's throwing the off-speed pitch first to get ahead. It was off fastball. Let's get ahead with the number 1 and then start working the changeup and the curveball. Mixing it up.
If you're just joining us, Jackson Coar started the night by striking out the side in the first, and then he got 2 more in the second. He had struck out 5 of the first 6. And in fact, 8 of his first 9 outs were strikeouts. It was just like the pitch we saw King get.
Yep.
Oh, there's
a Frog fan.
That is it.
Start him early.
Ferocious, too. I think she really would rather be waving.
They told me to do this.
1-2, try to blow it by him at 94, and he fouls it off. For those that follow college baseball and then you watch where your guys go to the next level, I think between this group here and the one that just left Florida, you're looking at about probably 6, 7 guys that could be in major leagues.
I think from last year's Florida staff, pitching staff, I think you could have
Including
7 guys pitching the big leagues.
Including 2 that are here now?
3.
Yeah.
Faedo, Singer, Kowar. And last year, Puck, Shore,
Dunning,
Moss, Dunning. Actually make it 8. And Sean Johnson. That was pretty dirty right there. Late action. You could see Humphreys having to start because of the velocity, and that one just kept on coming in. Some movement on this one.
That's being caught in between also.
Yep.
That's respecting the changeup. You can throw it at any count, any time.
Curveball.
Fastball.
Changeup.
Curveball. That one curveball.
I just figured we would give the whole repertoire. I didn't call that. I'm adding to it.
Did a good ring to it.
Yeah, you did. It's good.
And that's all O'Sullivan that develops these guys?
Tis.
Oh, that's been a strike all night. That was the low one.
No, all is Brad Weitzel, Craig Bell, Lars Davis, the 3 assistant coaches there. All have very specific roles and are all great coaches. Weitzel's an incredible talent evaluator. 2-seam fastball. I think that ball's low. I think that's the right call. It's close, but I think that ball's down.
You know what that is? That's Mike Rivera behind the plate. I don't know.
Maybe not.
The only part that bothers me is that low pitch has been a strike all night. And now Steve Mattingly's looking over at O'Sullivan and the rest of the Florida bench.
Is it going to be the rare double warning day? We've already seen one to the TCU bench.
I like that the bench chirps.
Yeah.
You have to let them know. You can't be quiet about it.
One out for Evan Skaug, and the throw over. Skaug is really slumping big time. He struck out twice here tonight. You see the numbers are 1 for 12. I talked to some of the TCU folks about where Skaug ended up getting drafted 17th round, and that was a long draft for Evan Skaug. Runner goes. It's fouled off at the plate. I think I said 17th, 7th round, but that got a little bit longer than Skaug had probably anticipated it going.
And this graphic is kind of who he is sometimes. So when it's hot, it's white hot. Like he can carry you for 2 weeks. But when it's not going well, that can happen for a few weeks. And he's right in the middle of a not going all that well right now.
And I was going to say, not having Luke and Baker on the team puts a lot of the power pressure on Skaug. He's been 20 homers this year. Rivera going to be a pro?
He's catch and throw good enough to be a pro. I think the question is whether the bat comes back. The offensive numbers this year are misleading because of the injury. He wasn't great before he got hurt, but I think he can absolutely catch and throw to play at that level.
Change up there, and Skaug is behind 1 and 2. All right, Eddie. So have you I know you.
He's late.
You're a good hitter.
You've
been in an occasional funk.
He's late right now. It's about starting early, and you think because he's ahead of everything when it comes to the off-speed pitch, it's because he's late recognizing it. He has to be able to load and sit to the ball. And what I mean by that, he has to be able to use the inside part of his foot, the leg, and the left. This is a fastball right here. He's going to be late.
Nope, he was on
location.
And he sent it in the right field. Humphrey stops at second. Skaug giving a little break there, and he's on with a good hit.
Down and in is where lefties can hit it, and they can still be late. It's supposed to be away. Comes in on it, and that's why he's able to hit it. Right then and there, making that mistake allows him to get to it, but he was jammed on that ball. He's just strong enough to get it through that infield.
For Skaug's first single, he's had all, Laura, extra base hits prior to that.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts before this single in this game too, Carl. And he started out the day swinging Luke and Baker's bat. Evan came into this without his bat because they didn't think it would pass inspection. Lucan's bat wasn't working for him, so he made a change, switched to Evan Williams' bat, and I bet you he sticks with Evan Williams' bat for the rest of the game, guys.
Yeah.
Players are superstitious. I was superstitious, but at the end of the day, it's not the arrow, it's the Indian. And that Indian has to start up a little bit earlier. You have to be able so you can recognize what an off-speed pitch is, and you're on time for the fastball.
What do you think about that, Kyle? The fact that he went in the 7th round and the speculation, and I'm sure he hoped he had gone earlier. Any impact on that?
Could. The questions for Scoug are twofold. One, can he catch? Because if he can't catch at the next level, then the value is not nearly as great than it would be if it's a left-handed catcher that has real power. And the second concern was the swing and miss. He has 96 strikeouts over the course of this season. And there's just so much swing and miss that I think those were the questions in Scout's mind. It's real power.
Right.
That's it, though. It's real power, and it still can be developed.
Yeah.
Now, the pace has slowed terribly, and you guys are all over it. Early in the game, Kowar was dealing. He was dealing quickly. And now we started with 55 pitches. We're at 82. A couple of guys starting to move around in that Florida bullpen. The last 3 innings, 22, 19, and 18. Versus the 23 to get through the first 2. Down 4-2. Florida's got a win to get into the championship series. TCU with a win forces another game tomorrow night against the Gators. Better.
Frank Rubio, the righty, up and throwing for Florida now.
You see Garrett Milchin starting to move around too out there. Milchin, the freshman, he's a left-hander. Throws righty, hits lefty. Jam shot and foul.
You won't see Dyson and you won't see Burns start to throw unless Florida gets the lead. If Florida gets the lead, then those will be the 2 main bullpen arms that you'll see today for Florida. But if they don't, knowing that if you lose today, you're going to play again tomorrow, they're not going to burn those guys.
Got a chance to spend some time with that guy.
He's awesome.
Call him Big Game Howie. Ryan Howard. Terrific, funny personality. 2-2. That's off his bat. That's a fair ball. One play to first, and they get him, and everybody was surprised by that. You don't see that very often. Right off the knob of the bat.
Bring that ball in, Michael.
Cam Warner retired for the second out. See that?
That go down as a sacrifice, almost sacrificing his fingers right here. No, that happens to me. You see me jumping up and down and trying to get an Oscar for this. There's no way I'm running down the line. Acting like it hit me right in the back of the hand.
You ever seen a ball off the knob of the bat go that far?
No.
Nope. I haven't.
That's the beauty of this game.
Runners go down to third and second, respectively. Humphreys and Scoug at second. O'Sullivan back out to the mound.
Well, you have first base open with Nolan Brown, which has struck out twice already in this game. Left-handed hitter. And then you have Barzilli that follows him in the lineup, already 1 for 2 with a base hit. This is all about strategy right here. What do you want to do in the game plan that Coach O'Sullivan has?
Horned Frogs have done a lot of their damage this tournament, and certainly the College World Series with 2 outs.
Ryan Merrill scoring right there. He got everything going in the 3rd inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Single, double led to 2 runs for TCU, and then in the 4th, leadoff walk, a single by Elliot Barzilli later on, and then Josh Watson to dead center field, just off the glove of Nick Horvath. Led to 2 more TCU runs in the inning.
Single brings in 2. Really big at bat here in the 5th. We're into the TCU bullpen. Kowar's limping along here. Nolan Brown has struck out twice. The first pitch called ball 1, and the appeal down to third. They'll stay that way. Just off the plate, he called it a strike.
Jeff Head at third called it a swing, I believe.
That I didn't see. Nor did I see a swing.
I don't go with another fastball here, though.
Brown beats it into the ground. He can beat it out. Terrific
Change
speed.
up right here.
That's outside, guys.
Looks like he's getting under a little bit because that ball's staying up. Earlier on in the game, that changeup was going down and away.
Sometimes almost straight down. When he really got over the top of it, it didn't have much side to side, more top to bottom.
Now it's a cat and mouse game. What do you throw here? Go back to the changeup.
Good one. Difference between the 3-starter versus the 1-2 in both of these cases. You got now 88 pitches. You're in the 5th inning. You have great stuff. Maturity.
Yes, I think that's the biggest thing. It's just learning how to harness that stuff. And clearly, stuff isn't the issue with Kowar.
No.
He moonwalked through the first 2 2/3 and just, it looked easy. Then 3 straight hits for TCU, and he's looked a little bit different since.
2 strikes, 2 down. Coming inside, almost got him.
Good pitch. You're looking for that changeup. He's thrown it twice. Down and away the last one. All of a sudden, you go up and in. You're Nolan Brown. You struck out twice. You have to be selling out right now on that changeup down and away. Just in case he misses location, look up and sit on it.
Looking for some more 2-out magic. Out of play. Is there a mentality, Eddie, to hitting with 2 outs? Do you all of a sudden...
You wait for him to make a mistake. And he will. That's the thing. You right there, that changeup, if you're looking for it after fastball up and in, that was a hittable pitch that you could drive into the left center field gap. Stayed up enough.
The faith they have in O'Sullivan to call the pitches and the trust has got them back to the College World Series. You heard Faedo reference it. They just got the signal already out there.
I look for the heater here.
Now, why would you say that?
I look for the heater because he's already thrown the changeup. He stayed on it. Coach O'Sullivan's just trying to keep him off balance.
The other night, he got himself into a jam with Singer on the mound late in the game. He stuck with him. Singer delivered for him. Feels like you're at one of those breaking points again, and he's hoping Kowar can get out of this. Pulls it 3-2, and he's a ball away from loading him up.
Go change up here.
I would throw the changeup. Yes, I think it's the best pitch that he's had tonight. I think he has the best feel for it right now.
Last inning for him.
First base is open. Doesn't have to be a strike.
If he gets out of it, no, I don't think it is his last inning.
Change up, cold foul. Both these teams for the year sitting on 49 wins. And neither has ever won the College World Series championship.
You can't paint your face and yawn. Did you see that? If you're a guy that paints your face in the stands, you're not allowed to yawn during the game. Those two things don't go together. When you make a decision to paint your face, you got to lock in for 9 innings. You can't yawn in the 5th.
But you want that intensity to match?
Huh?
You want some intensity to match that face? This one is fielded by Schwartz. He'll throw to Kowar, who's there to cover, and they get out of it. Big play for a while. It looked like that would go between Lippett and Schwartz. There's your intensity. We get out of that mess. It stays 4-2, heading to the bottom of the 5th at the College World Series. Horned Frogs need to win to keep their season going as you take a look at the concourse here at TD Ameritrade Park and our game summary. Third and fourth innings, 5 for 11, 4 runs. TCU, and this is something to keep an eye on, they have done damage in 2 innings in the games they've scored runs. Other than that, they don't have runs. And we'll see if the third and fourth is going to be it for them tonight, or they will add to this 4-2 lead. J.J. Schwartz spats here to start things off for the Gators in the bottom of the 5th.
Can't hit that one.
Charles King came on in relief. He bats, I should say Ryan Larson. King came on last inning. Just misses down at the knees. Larson, top of the order, walked last time up. You're reminded just how physically imposing that dude is.
I think that changes the lineup. You put him right in the middle in front of Scoug or behind Scoug, go right left with those two.
Larson swings at a ball and he evens the count up at 2-2. Baker did not just sort of shut it down when he broke his arm. The people that were there that witnessed it, and it was right in front of the TCU bench. He ran off the field and right into the clubhouse. Larson strikes out. And after he was diagnosed, came back, and he's been a very vocal part of it. This is just a couple of shots of Lucan Baker. You can see obviously how big he is, but in the World Series last year, he hit .375, had 2 bombs, and if you talk about like Dave Winfield-esque getting on that front leg and lifting that back one, Baker could do that.
What was so impressive was he's so big and he was able to catch everything inside, even off the plate, and keep it fair. And then when it was away, he took it the other way. Impressive power.
Plate discipline and the ability to hit the inside fastball at that size and that age were the 2 most impressive things about Lucan Baker. They'll get him back next year as a junior, and I would expect him to have a giant junior offensive season.
Good butt. We'll see if Barzilli can make the play. Bare hands it and does. Nice job by Elliot Barzilli to throw out Dalton Guthrie, and that gets more bangs from Lucan Baker.
And Barzilli's been impressive the entire College World Series. Coming in charging, call this a do-or-die play, barehanded. Throw it off your right foot and strike over to first base. Juan Hannen receiving this baseball. Look at the transition right there to the fingers. Perfect play.
Baker's gone all Bam Bam on us there.
Guys, when Lucan Baker did suffer that broken elbow, he was screaming, "Oh no," on the field. And he said he wasn't screaming because of the pain. He was screaming because he knew he'd be out for the season. He wants to be out here more than he could ever describe. But as you talked about, Kyle, he is so motivated for what will happen in the coming season. And he's doing really well in his rehab. He got the sling off that was stabilizing that elbow right before he got to Omaha. Able to lift some light weights at this point and just doing everything else he can to keep his body in shape in the gym.
What do you think light weights are for him?
Logs. Throwing tires around.
Could be a drummer with the way he's handling that stick.
Good take. He can run into one now, and he's due to lean on one here in Omaha. Pitch.
Ready for a 1-2-3 inning. Hit hard on the ground to short. Merrill crossed the diamond, and a good job by King. Back-to-back strong innings from Charles King out of the bullpen. NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Ferris wheel spinning tonight. Jackson Kowar has been replaced. He's out, so that was the last inning for the lanky righty for the Gators.
We saw a little bit of everything. We saw dominating stuff from Jackson Kowar. It started right at the beginning. First time through the order, he looked almost unhittable until he got to Ryan Merrill in the 9-hole. And Merrill really started things offensively for TCU. But for Kowar, he goes 5 complete. He strikes out 11. The changeup played the entire night. Fastball had good life. Went away from the breaking ball, I would say, in the last 2 or 3 innings. And we saw a few really good ones early. But good signs from Jackson Kowar, just not enough consistency. And that's why he's out after 5. So the sophomore right-hander, who is 12-0 on the season, ties a Florida College World Series record with 11 strikeouts, who Alex Faedo set just a few days ago against this same TCU ball club. And it'll give way to Garrett Milchin. Stuff isn't quite what we saw from Jackson Kowar, but Milchin can run it up there. Freshman from Windermere, Florida, potentially pushes into the starting rotation in years to come. But this year, Milchin primarily has been used out of the bullpen.
Come out.
His last appearance, May 14th, it was at Alabama, went 2/3 of an inning. And the most he has given them, 4 1/3 against Florida State early this season, March 28th. So a battle of the bullpens in a game that TCU has to win as we hit the top of the 6th inning. 2 runs in the 3rd and the 4th for TCU, 2 in the bottom of the 3rd for Florida, and that has been the score. And only 2 hits for the Gators tonight. So King has come on and done a nice job after Traver left. And the first pitch, a strike from Garrett Milchin. Barzilli, good play in the field, leads things off. He'll be followed by Wanhanen and then Josh Watson. On the ground to 3rd. India takes his time and he throws him out. Again, TCU, if they hang on tonight, right back at it tomorrow. So trying to win 3 games in the 3 days. Evan Scow got a hit his last time up, which is a good sign for the Horned Frogs.
The TCU last year was Florida this year. They were the team that got to 2-0. They were the team that was in the driver's seat. It was Coastal Carolina that came back and beat them twice in back-to-back days to get to the finals. So clearly they know it can be done because they saw it on the other side.
Coastal was the Cinderella story last year, and their coach Gary Gilmore became the focus of their achievement.
That's too much.
That one just missed in. So when you think about Florida and you think about TCU and the success of the programs, it does speak to how difficult it is to end up in that position on this field. These are programs well worthy of winning and already multiple championships. They pitch really well, these 2 teams.
Think about it. We were talking about Florida's pitching staff from last year. 7 or 8 guys, if they stay healthy, I think could potentially pitch in the major leagues. They went 0-2 here. Coastal Carolina beat them 2-1 in the opener, and they're eliminated in the following game.
I always say you got to have 3 things if you want to win a championship. You need good players, you need good health, and then you need some good luck. So what do you think's been missing for these 2 teams to finally? Is it just luck? Is it just sort of the luck of the draw? They have generally been, healthy. They certainly have great players.
Absolutely. Yeah, on both sides. I mean, TCU's a preseason #1 team in the country. Florida was top 5. So both were, I wouldn't say expected to be in this spot because you never know what the postseason or the regular season injuries are going to bring. But both from a talent standpoint, everybody knew at the beginning of the year, had a chance to be here.
And obviously with Baker out, you have the good players, but luck plays into the injuries.
Yes, it does.
They've had some bad luck that way.
Well, go back to Virginia, okay? Virginia 2015 was one of the last teams that was in the tournament. They were a 3 seed in the tournament. They shipped them out west.
Okay.
They ended up hosting because two non-number 1 seeds and won on both sides, and then come all the way through, beat Vanderbilt in the finals to win the whole thing.
Ooh, not a good throw over there to first, and a nice job by Schwartz to make sure it didn't get by him. Now, Virginia was the ultimate piece this bad boy together.
Yep.
It was a jigsaw puzzle the entire way for Brian O'Connor and his team, and they were able to be the last team standing. I think for the most part, after each successive win, even he was a little surprised with the result and the way it was happening. Not that he didn't think his team was good enough, but he'd lost with better teams and healthier teams.
The year before, their better team was the year that Vanderbilt beat them.
Right. Only a matter of time, right? Assuming that the coaches all stay here and the program stay between TCU and Florida to get a championship?
I would think so. The consistency. In the last 10 years, it's two of the most consistent programs in the nation.
Oh, 1 to Watson with Juan Hanan on first. He was on the move, and that ball's fouled off. Marciello and Schlossnagel, they have a philosophy around the TCU offense, which is incredibly different than virtually every other team. They win a lot. And they've been to the postseason, you see, with him 13 times, 5 times to Omaha. They just don't bunt.
They change the culture. They put a lot of pressure on the defense. Middle infielders always moving. Put the runner in motion. There he goes again.
0-2 on the ground. That one's going to get through, and the runner in motion. Juan Hanan will go to third, and the Horned Frogs are back in business here in the 6th with a couple men on.
This is their style of play, and once they get the lead, this is what they do. Put the runner on, hit and run. Goes in the hole. Now you have first and third. Runner 90 feet away from scoring to try to add on to this 2-run lead.
Guy that handles the bat really well. Ryan Merrill comes up now.
Mike Rivera giving the signs to see who is going to be covering second base, or if they throw it all to second base, or if they do a fake, go to third, or he just holds on to it. Just in case that runner tries to steal second. Middle infield bunched up the middle. You know what's a really good play is you put a fake steal with runners at first and second. That way you'll know who's covering second base or if they're covering at all. It'll tell the sign, it'll tell your bench if they're going to throw through or not. And the only way to counter that is by Mike Rivera going out again and giving signs, repeating signs again. A lot of teams don't do that.
Watson has very good speed at first base. Not going in the dirt. Nice job by Rivera.
That's good work, because that's a curveball on the other side of the plate that Rivera had to go a ways to get, and there's no chance you can get there to block it. The only chance he has is to throw that glove out there backhand. Watch where he's sitting. He's got to go all the way. That almost clipped Merrill on the back foot.
Milchin better also come to a stop. Guys on the TC bench trying to tell Steve Mattingly behind the plate.
Important pitch, 2-0. They're down by 2. Merrill led the offensive charge with a single his first time up, and that led to a couple of runs in the 3rd inning, and now 3-0, and Milchin is struggling big time here to find the strike zone.
This one's an all right, big boy. We need you right now. We need you right now. And Rivera's a guy that can absolutely deliver that message. Very well respected. Direct. Can get on guys if he needs to, and also knows the time that you got to go out and kind of make somebody feel good about themselves.
14 pitches. You saw that graphic. Half of them have been balls, and the next one will load them up. And you go back to the top of the order.
The way he's been swinging the bat, I would not be surprised here. Good take.
Rivera's going back out. So is O'Sullivan, and that may signal a potential change. There is no room for error, although they have the ultimate room because they're 2-0. Frank Rubio is the guy throwing up in that Florida pen.
Rubio's a ground ball guy, too. He can get you 2 outs with 1 pitch. Low 3/4, sinker, slider guy. I think the decision right here is do you want to roll the dice and see if you can Milchin get out of this inning and see if he can get you 1 or 2 more, or do you go to the guy that gives you the best chance to roll a double play? It looks like Milchin will stay in the ball game.
Meantime, King over there is just trying to stay loose. He's been out of the game for a little while, and with only 1 out, it may be a little bit longer. Game on the line here in the 6th inning with bases loaded and up by 2.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Austin Wade. Look out. That wasn't close, and Rivera used his chest to make sure it didn't get by him.
Rivera's getting a workout back there.
What do you think's going through his mind? That pitch wouldn't exactly engender a lot of confidence.
That's not the one that makes you sit there and think, well, let's let him roll a few more out there. If he throws a ball here, I think he may go get him.
You guys saw that stat on the bottom. That's the importance of this top of the order. Coming into this game, they were struggling. So far, 3 for 8, getting on base. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs.
Wade at one point had reached base in 58 of his 61 games. Another one down, another one in the dirt, and I don't think Milchin's got a lot of confidence. I think he may have hurt himself too.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think he's walking off on his own. I think he hurt himself. Yeah, he's coming right out of the game. So that's a tough blow for Florida, the Gators, and certainly Milchin as Kevin O'Sullivan walks his big pitcher towards the tunnel. Laura will try to get a update on him. See, he's kind of feeling for something in that arm, Kyle, and this was the second one.
That's tough to watch because what happened on both of those.
Oh, that's his arm, huh?
That's what it looks like, and it looks. You can see how it just kind of hangs there. When guys don't want to extend, you don't want to extend because it hurts to extend when you let it go, and that's tough to see by the freshman right there because you know he didn't want to come out of the ball game, but it didn't look good.
So Milchin out, Rubio in. He's got a 2-0 count with the bases loaded. We'll be back to Omaha in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. TCU leading Florida 4-2. Pitching change. Garrett Milchin just walked off the field after he had thrown a pitch, and you could tell there was something that did not appear right with his arm. He took himself right out of the game. Frank Rubio comes on. We'll get a report from Laura in just a second. 6 foot, 190-pound senior. 26 2/3 innings of work. He's given up more than a hit per inning. He does have some good strikeout to walk numbers. San Francisco Giants took him in the 29th round of the draft.
He can throw you some ground balls, which is what you're hoping right now with Rubio in the ball game. I mean, it's hard to see with Milchin walking off right there, but not to get lost in this. It's a 2-run ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Rubio rolls you a ground ball, gets you back in. Florida's right in the middle of this thing.
Again, he assumes a 2-0 count. And the first pitch is on the way to Austin Wade. Good one right at the knees for a strike. And you can see that submarine approach keeps that ball low. We'll get you some ground balls like Kyle said. They need one now. Wade, 2 strikeouts and a double. fouls one off. Totally different look, obviously, when you see a guy like Rubio come into the game. Seen a couple of injuries here at the College World Series. Walker for LSU, and now what appeared to be an injury to Garrett Milchin of Florida. 2-2, beaten into the ground. They'll go to second for one and only one. I thought maybe you come home.
You have to go home
and get that run.
You have to go home. That's a play that you have to have that. You have to have it planned before it even comes at you. Slow roller, chopper like that. You don't hesitate. You come home, you get one. That's all you're going to get, especially with Austin Wade at the plate. You have enough time to go home, and Mike Rivera wanted it. You see that hop that he had? No chance to get two with this. Rubio doing his job, inducing that ground ball.
Now Zach Humphreys bats. He's reached base twice, a double and a walk. And a 5-2 TCU lead over Florida. They win the game. There'll be another game tomorrow night. Same two teams. Winner goes to the championship series. The ball took such a high hop, it felt like there was no way to get the double play.
The only chance you had, and it's not a great chance because Wade can run, is if he could have tagged Watson. And Watson's 5 feet away, but I still don't think with Wade's speed, you got to cut the guy off at home.
Watson did the right thing, too. He stopped.
Yeah.
Made sure that wasn't going to happen.
Rubio did what he wanted. He got a ground ball. Humphreys can add on, though. Outside. Fake to third, fake to first. I mean, how often does it work? What do you think? Give me a percentage. 5%?
I think it's high.
I think it's a little high.
I'll take the under on that.
0.5.
There you go.
That's way under.
5 in there somewhere.
1 in 5,000.
There it is again. Percentage is going lower now.
Now, TCU will put some pressure on you. I certainly understand that. 4 of the 5 have come with 2 men down. A little higher in there for a strike. 2-1.
That's the thing. When you have him 2-0, you're forcing him to elevate from down there. That's when they get hurt. Rubio lives on the bottom half of the zone. Anytime he comes up like that, you better be ready to swing that bat.
.25. You can see in the first couple of rows of the left field bleachers, they get some fans out there right there using those lights, and they will be told to put those away. Now those kids are going to get really scared because they're being called out over the loudspeaker.
Yep.
Guilty.
Look
guilty,
at Mom saying hello.
And guilty.
One frog.
Delayed call by Mattingly. Big pitch though. 1st and 3rd, 2-2, 2 outs. Only in the top of the 6th. Plenty of time for Florida. They're into that TCU bullpen.
Walk. outside.
No, runner goes. That's called the ball. We'll eliminate the third and first fake pitch because we now have runners on second and third.
That'll make John Schaumby happy.
Yeah. Schaumby at home watching, not a huge fan of the fake to third and throw and or fake to first. So he's been relieved of any of that frustration. Now a big one to Zach Humphreys at 3-2. Nope. Ball 4 and they're loaded. Focus on the guy at the plate. Kevin O'Sullivan gnawing away at that nail on his finger.
Well, this matchup benefits Evan Scout big time. Low ball pitcher, low ball hitter, side armor. Scout has been struggling with pitches up in the zone, has been able to hit the pitch down. Last at bat, got a base hit, so those numbers, you see it at the bottom, 2 for 13 in this College World Series. He's feeling good now after that base hit.
7 of his 8 hits have been for extra base hits. That single he had was his first single. Nope.
This is a really good matchup for Scout.
It is.
Because it's not a plus fastball, and he can cover the outer third of the plate and pull it into right center field.
We've had one grand slam, the first TD Ameritrade history. A.J. Harrison for Oregon State. Scout got a good pitch to hit, but he spoils it and fouls it off. Seventh round pick of the White Sox. That guy you're looking at swinging right there.
Different bat. Same at bat since the last. Same bat since the last at bat.
Spit it out.
I know.
Evan Williams.
Today.
Two and one. Rubio trying to be really careful, but there's nowhere to put Evan Scout. Junior out of Libertyville, Illinois, 5'11", 200. And if there's one guy that's come up with the big hit after big hit after big hit, it's this guy, number 9. Huge in the tournament so far. And another one to hit, and he fouls it off. Pretty good one there for a lefty, Eddie. Down and in.
Where he needs it. Rubio can elevate. He can execute his pitch right here. He can get Scout.
He's just not mentally used to elevating.
Right.
For a guy like this, that's usually not what he's looking to do.
Watson, Wade, and Humphreys occupy the bases as the 2-2 comes. Ripped into right. That's a gapper. All three are going to come in. Evan Scout delivers a big double, and TCU has blown it open.
Just kind of see that one coming.
It's the right matchup.
Yeah. And that's a way that Scout gets out of a slump right there, because now the mindset's a little bit different. Two-seam fastball moves over the outer third of the plate, and that is the one you're not going to see him hit a lot of balls to left field. He will pull the length of the plate against guys that don't have supreme fastballs. Rubio doesn't. Scout clears the bases on a ball that gets all the way to the wall in right center field.
There's a reason Coach O'Sullivan left Milchin in to face Wade, the lefty. You don't want a side armor facing left-handed hitters. They don't feel comfortable with their stuff.
Cam Warner, and they got 8 on the scoreboard, and 7 of them have been scored with 2 outs. And as you go back over the entire College World Series, that's a pretty good number and something you got to think about tomorrow night, assuming Florida doesn't come back. 12 of their 16 have scored with 2 outs.
Yeah, I caught it strike.
You got Evan Scout back.
Look out.
Feeling pretty good about himself. That pitch didn't count.
My hand is up. I had time. I was talking to him. 0-1.
Steve Manning was in the middle of a conversation with Jim Schlossnagle when that pitch came all the way in. He was looking towards the first base dugout. Rubio went to let that go.
Big hit for Mr. Clutch for TCU. Evan Skaug, a base clearing 3-run double. Second hit of the night, and it's now TCU 8-2. We may be looking at 2 games on Saturday here for the championship series. And assuming Florida does not come back and win, you're going to have Faedo pitching tomorrow. Not a lot of number ones be available for first game or even second game for championship series. Saw Lang pitch today for LSU. He's their ace, so if they can get in, he's not available until likely Wednesday.
If this holds, the pitching matchup that we have tomorrow is one that you usually don't get that day. You've got Faedo for Florida and Janzek for TCU. Ace against ace in a winner-take-all. Now, obviously, we got a long ways to go before we get to that point, but Florida's offense tonight just does not look like it can come back from this one. They've got 2 hits on the night right now.
Right. 1-2 to Warner. That ball hard at second base and fielded cleanly by Deacon Lippett. But Eddie, not before a lot of damage was done.
Well, right here with 2 outs. Fastball down and away. And Senor Scow showing his presence. Horn Dogs in action.
Bottom of the 6th on the way in Omaha. TCU leads Florida 8-2. In last half inning, we saw Florida pitcher Garrett Milchin come in the game. He threw a couple pitches and then started to feel some discomfort. Ended up taking himself out of the game after this, dealing with what the Florida athletic trainer John Michelina tells me is forearm tightness. They said that he was taken out for precautionary reasons, did not want to make it worse. But apparently that's what is going on with Garrett Milchin, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Laura, very much. Tough to watch. The Gators after that had to go to Rubio, and that didn't work at all. 4 runs in, 8-2. TCU. We'll see if Florida now can start to chip away. Tell you one thing, too. Charles King's done a pretty good job here. He's done a really good job out of the bullpen for TCU tonight. Came in, issued a walk, then got a strikeout, and has since got 3 in a row. 4 total. And you got to pitch with a lot of confidence when you're up 8-2.
You got to pitch with a lot of confidence, and at this point, you got to pitch like you're going to finish the ball game too. Because for TCU, that would be, aside from a win, that would be the biggest shot in the arm, as if Charles King can, if not take you the whole way, take you most of the way home from here. Longest outing of the year was 4 innings against Texas A&M.
Amazing how this game changes so quickly and is so unpredictable. Saturday at 8, that's when we'll be on if TCU is able to hang on and win. This ball playable, center field, and it drops. Wow, it looked like a bad read. Nolan Brown and Josh Watson, nobody really helped him. And Nelson Maldonado is on. I don't know if it was a misread off the bat, but boy, it was up there for a while.
It was. Watch what Nolan Brown does in center field. Goes back, takes a couple steps, and then realizes having no chance whatsoever.
That's one of those 2 off the bat. When you're on the mound, mentally, the minute that comes off the bat, you're thinking 1 out.
I got it out.
Because that ball stays in the air that long, somebody's going to catch it. But it was that read from Brown. It wasn't just 1 step. I mean, it was, he stood there for a minute. Respecting the power of Maldonado on a big swing, but he didn't get it.
No error, obviously. Nobody touched it, and I'm not suggesting that he was going to catch it. Had he got a good read on it, it felt like it. Where are you guys on the team error when there should have been an out recorded and there wasn't?
Like on that one?
I'm not. Yeah, sure, that one.
No, not there.
What about the team error where it falls in between 3 guys and nobody touches it and they don't give it an error? Like, can there be team errors in baseball?
I know I've had this conversation before, and I'll tell you right now, I like the way it is. It's just it's the miscommunication part, the element of there can be a collision, there can be center fielder, second baseman, and shortstop looking at each other.
I'm not assigning. That's not assigning blame to an individual.
You're just saying a team error, yet the hitter. Because remember, I'm thinking on the offensive side. I got a guy to my right that's a pitcher saying, "Well, why not?"
The only
Have
one.
a team error.
The only one is the ball that gets lost in the sun. That one drives me crazy.
Because
if there ever could be a team error or E0 and give the sun an error, but it's not. That's the one that always drives me nuts. I'm with you, Eddie, though.
Hey, there's Milchin back on the bench for the Gators. Lippett strikes out.
One thing I have noticed this College World Series, there's a lot more strikeouts this year than last year on fastballs up in the zone. And I think it's because of the big curveballs that we've been featured here.
Strike to Jonathan India, third baseman. Oof. Ball does move a mile. It's like Jeff, a little Jeff Nelson slider. Remember Jeff Nelson used to throw that frisbee?
So you were talking earlier about that ball that doesn't move until it's closer to home plate. That was it right there. Right. That looked like those wiffle balls that only have holes on one side of it that you figure out how to throw the slider.
Oof. Charles King starting to feel pretty good about himself out there.
I think India recognized that one. He just missed it.
Charles King back-to-back strikeouts.
This time just came back with a fastball. So 2 straight sliders. He just pumped the fastball in. The velocity's not as high as we've seen from King sometimes in the past, but fastball control's been very good tonight for him.
Langworthy. Maldonado had a leadoff single, little blooper into shallow center field, but back-to-back strikeouts. Langworthy doesn't offer. So you mentioned you got Faedo and Janzak. Is there an advantage to Faedo in that matchup? Just based on Janzak not having his great stuff? Yeah. In the first meeting, or are they equal?
If it's an advantage, I don't think it's a huge advantage. Janzak can go out and dominate a lineup. That'll be, I mean, it's rare to get to tomorrow and go ace-ace. That's the one thing. It's the advantage that TCU has, that they have 4 real starters. So they did hold Jansen.
Good one in there for a strike. Now, does Weimer, after throwing all those pitches, is he available? I think Weimer's available.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He can give you one.
Maybe for an inning, yeah.
On the ground to second. Good hop. And Warner throws to Wanhanen. Langworthy retired. 3 to go. And an 8-2 lead for TCU. Looking to force another one. A grand slam on the first one ever at TD Ameritrade.
The Omaha native has gone yard for TCU. He ropes one. It is way gone. Wow. Hey, now.
Got something tonight as well. So 18 home runs, the most in a single College World Series at TD Ameritrade Park. Previous high was 15 back in 2015. And obviously we're going to have very likely 2 games tomorrow. And then the championship series starting Monday. 2 out of 3, you win 2, you win the championship. Coastal Carolina did that last year. And it's 8-2 in favor of TCU with Eduardo Perez, Kyle Peterson, and Laura Rutledge. I'm Carl Ravitch here in Omaha. City that opens its arms wide for college baseball fans, youth baseball players during this 2-week stretch. And if you love baseball, Omaha is a destination in June every year. Best college baseball teams and great college baseball fans. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. 1 up and 1 down.
Uh-oh. No, we're all right. We're away.
Froggy getting tired?
A little bit. That's one frog's bedtime right now, not the other one. He's ready to
He's
go.
shut.
More cotton candy now.
Yep. I tell you what, we got another one tomorrow, so he's catching up. This may be a good move, like strategy. Tomorrow's the big one now. If we're going to get there, I want to be up for the entire game. Elliot Barzilli bats, singled, scored a run, 267. A couple of things, all right, that have happened tonight. Scout probably feels a lot better about himself.
Yes.
And the TCU bullpen, which has been outstanding, has gotten a lift from King. So they get into that battle in the bullpens, and they got a real chance. Deep down the line, and it looked like it went right over the foul pole, and it's called foul. Really close.
That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Really close. Now Jim Schlossnagel may come out and ask for a review here on a fair or foul. Third base umpire is running in. That's Jeff Head. So the question is going to be, do we have our 19th home run? Schlossnagel got a smile on his face.
Usually those baseballs hook, but let's not forget earlier Michael Rivera hit a home run and he stood at home plate. And Alex Faedo had said, well, he stood because the baseball went back into the field of play.
Well, that one, if you look at the stairs where they are in relation to that foul pole, they sort of seem like they're inside the foul pole.
No doubt.
Which would indicate that that would be a home run for Barzilli. So they're going to look at it. It's an odd angle, but it does look like the stairs. If you were standing on those stairs and looking in towards the field, you would be looking to the left side of that pole, which would mean it would be a fair ball.
I didn't think Ed had any chance to be anywhere close to fair when it came off his bat.
I think it's fair just because of where it landed.
I don't think there's enough to overturn it, though. I don't think they'll come back and call it fair.
We haven't seen an indisputable look. But where those stairs are, that would indicate it was a fair ball. That doesn't mean that you get an indisputable look, but it does feel like it was a fair ball where it landed. Not enough wind to blow it, 30 feet. It's blowing out to center. It's not blowing hard from left to right. Really? So you had to show the flags when the wind shifted, going right to left.
Atta boy, Scotty.
What's the word from the inside the old TCU dugout? What are they thinking? It's taking a lot longer than you would have thought, so we get some head nods.
Rav, I'm with you. Where it lands, I think there's a decent chance that it was fair, but it's whether or not you can overrule it based on the video, and I don't think you can from that.
If you just look at the yellow where the foul pole is and that railing that extends up behind it, they seem to be in line with each other, or very, very close to in line with each other. Yeah, that silver railing and that foul pole. Again, the angle makes it look like it's way left of it, but it's really not. But it lands where that little guy with the Cam Newton shirt is at the top. I mean, it's inside that railing.
You called it a foul ball.
I can buy it.
Yeah, I can too.
Paul stands. I could have bought it either way. And by the way, that was launched.
It was.
It was that wind. It was that wind, Carl, that brought it back.
That huge wind.
Yeah.
Barzilli's got 6 home runs on the season. Look out. Now, I know you're not a doctor, but when a pitcher comes back after suffering an apparent injury, is that because there's nothing you can really do right now, so just go back out there?
I mean, you could ice it, but at this point, there's nothing else you can do.
No X-ray, no MRI. We're not doing anything tonight.
For that, an X-ray probably ain't going to show you anything unless it's a broken bone, but it didn't appear that was the case. And an MRI is, I would assume you do it sometime in the next few days, or maybe you wait. I mean, I don't think he's going to pitch again, so I just hope that it's something muscular and nothing more than that, because any time that a pitcher just starts walking off the mound, that's not a good sign.
LSU and Oregon State will play tomorrow, and right now it looks like we're going to see TCU and Florida playing tomorrow. Nope, another one foul.
He's got both corners covered. Long shot fouled with left field, and little bleeder down the line in right field. A couple feet foul.
Tell you what, KP, I don't think the folks in your hometown are too upset about the fact that you're going to have 2 more baseball games. The crowds this week, you know, I've been here since they opened. I don't recall them being this big consistently.
All the way through?
Yeah, consistently.
I think tomorrow's supposed to be another great weather day. Upper 70s. Wind should be blowing about the way that it is right now. I'm all right with it.
I'm all right with it. Plus, it's a do-or-die game. Those are, you don't get many of those, are great. Whew, took a lot off that one, and Barzilli, who just missed a homer, strikes out. Second out of the inning. All right, Sunday night we'll be off, especially with good weather tomorrow. So we invite you all to check out the National League Central Showdown, the Pirates and the Cardinals. It'll be at Busch Stadium. Coverage will kick off at 7 Eastern Time. ESPN, the Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown crew at Nando. One of the greats, Adnan Burke. We got Mark Teixeira, Timmy K, Tim Kirkshin. Streams live on the ESPN app. Join them at 7 Eastern, game at 8. Give me your plan. What's the big off-day plan Sunday?
Me?
Yeah, what do you got? Okay, we've already seen the zoo.
I'll tell you what I am going to do.
What do you got?
We may go to the zoo. I might do that. But I'm absolutely going to the Hall of Fame exhibit.
Locked in over there, yeah.
And I want to take everybody. I want to take my wife and the girls, and I know T would like it, but I want to go over there.
Yeah.
And you guys are invited too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
how about the production staff?
They can come too. Yeah, everybody can come. Scott Gustafson probably should. It's probably better for all of us if he doesn't.
Let
but
the
I think
producers
the rest
stay
of us,
locked in.
Actually, Scott Johnson can't come either, but everybody else is invited.
The Hall of Fame has got a lot of memorabilia from the Hall of Fame, and they do an entire display. There's about 5 exhibits inside that big Century Link Center. I'm not sure exactly what the beard had to do with the Hall of Fame thing, but we snuck that shot in.
Just a natural tie-in.
That is a Hall of Fame beard. We'll give you that. Yeah, I can see that. About a 15-minute movie as well. You can see over there in IMAX. It's titled "We Are Baseball." City's not afraid to enjoy a sporting event, are they?
No, this is it's a great amateur sports town. I mean, the swim trials held just across the street numerous times now.
Got Creighton Athletics.
Jay's playing right across the street. I like it, Rav.
I hear you. Got a picture of that statue. We're in Omaha. You can only find that statue right in front of TD Ameritrade. College World Series right here in Omaha, Nebraska. It's presented by Capital One. Michael Landestoy has moved on to play first base for the Horned Frogs. Wears number 13. Familiar last name to baseball folks. You know Rafael Landestoy?
Yes, I do. Rafael Landestoy, middle infielder. Back in the day, major leaguer. Also managed in the Dominican Republic during winter ball.
Mike Rivera leads things off. Looks like we're going to have 2 games on Saturday to decide who will be in the championship series here at the College World Series in 2017. Nope. Hold on.
All right, that's enough of the beach balls tonight. Fun in the second or the third, but let's put them in our pocket. Bring them tomorrow with the water balloons. That was a good touch.
The voice of Omaha. I like how, and I think they listen. I mean, you've got that clout here in the
listen
Ohms.
at home.
I don't think there will be another beach ball just because you said that.
Really?
Yeah.
I think tomorrow I feel for the men in blue because I think there'll be a lot of water balloons.
They've gotten their cardio in.
Double dip for you tomorrow, KP? What do we got?
Sure,
Yeah.
why not? Roll them both out.
3 and 8 Eastern time. In the bottom of the 7th, Gators need some big time runs. Rivera, jam shot, first baseman Landestoy. Welcome to the game, big fella.
One thing Landestoy can do is play defense. They bring him in every time they have the lead. Short-handed at first base.
Charles King came on in the 4th inning. Here we are in the 7th, and the Gators have had no threat. So one sort of commonality about the teams that tend to show up here, and in particular these two teams, they bring arms at you that you don't necessarily consider frontline guys. That may eventually be that way, but this is another great example. Traver comes out, pitches really well, then you can see he doesn't have it, and they bring King in, and King's been phenomenal.
If you lose game 1 or game 2, you need somebody like this to show up, because you got to have somebody eat innings and give you a chance to save the balance of the bullpen. Charles King has done that today. Remember when he came into this ballgame, it was a 2-run game.
Besides the first hitter that he faced, which was Mike Rivera, he walked him. He hasn't walked anyone else. He's throwing strikes. That was a strike right there.
But the count goes 3-1. I mean, you can almost hear the post-game press conference and first comments from Schlossnagle. How about the job Charles King did tonight? Assuming he continues along this path. Could see the tug of the fastball and a walk to lead off the bottom of the 7th. So remember, we start with 8, we're down to 4, and we are going to have 4, barring a comeback from the Gators, playing Saturday, 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock Eastern time. Oregon State, 56-5 on the season, lost today, and it felt pretty decisive given the way Lang and Hess pitched, even though it was a pretty close game. Didn't really feel like they were going to get much accomplished against those guys.
I would agree. I think LSU was absolutely the better team today. Interesting to see. I would be surprised if LSU starts anyone other than Caleb Gilbert tomorrow. For Oregon State, there's a decision, but I think we're going to see Drew Rasmussen. I haven't seen an announcement. Maybe it's already happened and we haven't seen it yet. But Rasmussen has big stuff. So does Gilbert. Gilbert can get into the mid-90s. I mean, to this point tomorrow, we've got 2 really good pitching matchups.
Look at this exchange on Twitter, guys, from Alex Lang and Zach Hess. It started with Lang saying, "Dear Zach Hess, you're gross," from me. And then Hess responded about the great job on the 30th win, and he said, "Now I won't strangle you in your sleep. With love, Hess." Not sure about all that, but what do you guys think gross means? Is that filthy? Is that
nasty?
Yeah,
right. Go with that, yeah.
Just want to make sure we're correct on the lingo there, right?
It was gross. I mean, it really was. It was like really gross. So the little guys have decided we're going to look a lot better with some letters on the chest and no shirt. Sunglasses at night. This is what being 12 is all about. 13.
All those tournaments
love it.
Held all around Omaha and
I love it.
Nebraska. It's awesome. See all the parents here with the young ones.
Jabba Chamberlain a little bit ago. His son's playing one of those tournaments.
Yeah, Jabba Chamberlain. Good to see him. Right, Nebraska guy.
Yeah. Lincoln.
Talk about filthy, gross, nasty.
Pitched in this thing, but it was up at Rosenblatt then.
We talk about closers for a couple of years there. Whew.
It's gross.
It was gross. Gross in the most complimentary way possible. You guys went with some of your own language today. Like I heard, oh yeah, Cut Johnson just thrown in there. You and Burke, Tom Hart, little different lingo today.
Who said Cut Johnson?
Berkey did.
Well, I didn't say. I would not say Cut Johnson.
That's what he did. Little 86-mile-an-hour Cut Johnson on the corner.
Not a cut piece.
I like cut piece.
Has been announced, by the way. Rasmussen Gilbert tomorrow, game 1.
The other beautiful thing you did today, you kept trying to get the game coverage back on track because it kept going with that replay thing, and the KP in the corner would be like, yeah, 3-2 here though. This is a big pitch. Refocus. Beaten into the ground, can be 2. Flip to first. Nope. Beat it out. Ball just slowed up enough. Merrill flipped it to Warner, and he could not make the turn quick enough.
Yeah, we made a lot of friends in Baton Rouge today. But that's all right. They'll get over it. And this one just too deep for Merrill to make the turn. Flip fine to Warner, but not enough time to get the hitter down the line. So Dalton Guthrie comes up right now for Florida. I mean, there's a lot of work to do, but it's got to start right here. Cut Johnson. Be on the lookout for that tomorrow day game.
I have a feeling Berkey's talking to you right now through the TV.
Berkey's talking to someone. That's a lock. Whether it's me or the TV or the wall or whatever. Berkey is talking to someone right now.
It's a very fair point. This is not that aberrational, though, for Florida's offense. I mean, they've been quiet tonight, and they only have 3 hits, but this is not an offensive juggernaut by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, they've been built on their pitching and their defense, that's for sure. A lot of tight games during the season. Not tonight.
Assuming it's Fido and Janczak, and the viewer at home hasn't seen a lot of either of them, when you watch Fido pitch, who does he remind you of?
Reminds me of a big leaguer. I'm trying to think of who it may be. I mean, it's a power fastball, power slider. The changeup is clearly the third pitch, but the first two are good. First two are real good, and I think he's a fast track guy to the big leagues.
And he's a big boy, 6'5", 225. Okay.
Janczak more sinker slider. A good sinker, good slider, both. Janczak's that guy that if you look up and he's got a bunch of ground ball outs, he's probably going to win the ball game. Faedo, the first time that these two met, was off the charts good.
Both of these teams looking for their first College World Series championship, and they've been here so often the last 5 years. And here they are going to have to face each other. King of the Hill tonight, Charles King, gets the strikeout. He came on in the 4th, and they have zeros on the board in the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. King gets the rook every time.
Smith puts it over the bullpen. Pitch away, pitch out. The throw down to second is in time. Snared by Freeman. What a play. Punch out to end the game, and LSU will live to play another day.
So we had Jabba Chamberlain up here in the booth with us for a while, and then you just see Zach Hess, and there are some freakish similarities just in their size and their power and their tenacity and their ferocity. Hess wasn't the closer for LSU all season long, and he's been put into that position. And that is stuff that literally could play at the major league level tomorrow. I'm not sure you get the consistency, but that's 96 with a slider, and it is legit. And it's got a little cut to it at the end of it. You got to watch Zach Hess. I hope he gets another chance so people at home can see him. You talk about makeup, like do you leave him in a closer role, Kyle? I mean, I understand the starting and how important that is, but boy, he does seem to be somebody who's cut out of a closer cloth right now.
He is, but I still want my best arm giving me more innings.
Yep.
And we'll see what they decide to do next year. New center fielder Andrew Baker now in center. J.J. Schwartz has moved behind the plate. Christian Hicks into the ball game at first base. Well, you know one thing for sure. If they do try to move him into the starter's role next year, and if that doesn't work, you know that the end of the game does work.
Right. Well, it's interesting. Given the amount of money that closers are now getting, you're looking at $50 million for 5 years and upwards. Is that a position that you think you're going to see developed in college, or is it always going to?
I think what is developed, I think one of the challenges, where the first reliever was taken this year in the draft from a college standpoint? 75th overall. So I think that some of it at this level is from a draft standpoint, for whatever. The draft isn't valuing the back end of the bullpen guy nearly as much as the starter.
Now, hypothetical, if Zach Hess, if they had the draft next week, and you just watched what Zach Hess did in the World Series, assuming he'd done it sometime this year, but maybe not all year, wouldn't you be inclined to take that dude, even if you're going to convert him to a starter well before the 75th pick?
Yeah, absolutely. I would. And I've never been in a draft room, so I don't know everything that goes on in there, but.
And maybe this is a Major League Baseball question. Does the philosophy on drafting change when you see somebody who has the ability to close a game out at this level? And this is the SEC and this is the College World Series. Does it change so you say, you know what, we're going to need a closer? This is organizational, because a lot of organizations will tell you we can develop a closer. We'll find one. And yet 3 of them just paid enormous amounts of money for them.
Right, and we saw earlier years back where Houston Street was drafted straight from Texas, and you go to Oakland and you become that closer. But I still think organizations value a starting pitcher a lot more, and
they should.
Yeah, and they should.
Straightaway center field, and once again, this is Baker going back. It has held up for him. Then he makes the play. Good rip at it from Ryan Merrill, who's hitting the ball hard after Watson had walked. So there's Rasmussen and Gilbert's numbers, 9 and 1 combined. You see, Rasmussen has not started the entire season.
He's only a year plus off of Tommy John, which is the reason why Rasmussen did not have a ton of innings this year. But the innings that he's had have been very dominant. Caleb Gilbert kind of shifted back and forth, primarily has been in a bullpen role for the last 2/3 of the season. But the stuff plays as starter stuff. It's 3 pitches.
How far can Rasmussen go?
5.
See, what I want to know is how far, if at all, can Hess go?
1. Through 23 pitches.
Yeah, I would agree.
An inning and 2/3.
And is Hunter Newman even an option anymore?
Absolutely. Absolutely is. I think he's a necessity.
This one towards the seats, and it is going to be close to them. Oh, look out. India ran sort of hard into that padding there and buckled a little bit. So he is, because Newman demoted, and then his last appearance here.
I throw that one out.
All right.
I throw the last appearance out.
Just dismiss
I look
it.
at the last 4.5 months. And the last 4.5 months for Hunter Newman have been really good.
Well, I think your point is they need him, and I'm sure they made it clear, like, we're going to need you. Oh, 2 to Austin Wade. Nope, way outside.
Guys.
Talked about Zach Hess at the College World Series. 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts, 3 saves. He's got 9 outs, 8 of them thanks to the strikeout. And he's a freshman. Prior to today, the higher seeded, better team as far as seedings had won every game. And then you had Oregon State get beaten by LSU as the runner goes. Look up off the glove, it looked like, of the pitcher, and it shot into center field. That was close. I'm not sure if Rubio got his glove on it, but the runner was in motion and that ball was lined back at him.
Seems when the runner's in motion, the focus of the hitters of TCU putting that ball in play. That one barreled right back up the middle. I don't think it had any leather.
That's a good point, though, because obviously there's a man moving, you know, and it may be in somewhat of your line of sight. You may see that. They're so conditioned to it, Eddie, that obviously they can just block it out. And in fact, sort of razor focus on the pitch. Ground ball, Guthrie. Lippett in the dirt, and they'll get the run in and only 1 out.
It's amazing how leadoff walks end up scoring. Right here, Guthrie getting down low. Gets one short hop to the second baseman, Lippett. Nice pick at second. That's all you were going to get off Humphreys. You're going to get him at first.
Evan Skoug had the hit that blew this one open. Double with the bases loaded. And all of a sudden, the feeling around Evan Skoug is going to be much better than it was coming into this game.
Yes, it is.
That worked for you too, Eddie? A couple of hard knocks, and all of a sudden you're like, whew, I'm back.
Oh, no doubt. Confidence is there. Same guy on the mound also.
Let's get into the mental side of this, because he comes to the ballpark feeling pretty good about himself, and then he strikes out in his first at bat. Is there, in your own mind and your own experience, does the doubt begin to creep back in, or are you able to play the mental game of, I'm good, I'm good. Had a good game last night, I'm going to have a good game again today, even if I just struck out.
I think the difference, though, with it being Evan Skoug, and he's behind the plate, his focus is so much on the pitcher and getting that job done that this right now just becomes secondary. But those 2 hits, wow, do they help.
This one up the middle, and it's the shortstop on the second base side of the bag that makes the play. Stay hot, Evan. Don't get down. 3-4-5 when we come back for the bottom of the 8th.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. What's in your wallet? And in part by Preacher. Only on AMC. Go to AMC.com for local listings. Rated TVMA. And TD Ameritrade.
TD Ameritrade, boys and girls, they flew in today. Look at them buzzing around there. 25,329. Highest of the 2017 College World Series.
Whew. See if we can beat that tomorrow.
Saturday in Omaha. Now, look, a lot of locals, right? I mean, we must have Little League games or sporting events and other things. Is this a focal point on a Saturday? More?
Yeah.
I love it.
Focal point every day.
I know. But even more on the weekend. We don't have weekend activities going to interfere. This is the big activity.
Out of here.
They'll show up.
I think it's going to be jam-packed tomorrow.
I love it. Let's get to 26th thou.
There's a lot of purple going on in Omaha between LSU and TCU.
He's got to get to bed. He's got another big game tomorrow.
2 of them. Let's get 2. Let's play 2 tomorrow. New pitcher into the game is Dalton Brown. And we haven't quite yet decided on player of the game, but I'm throwing out Charles King's name and what he was able to do. 3 1/3, 1 hit. First pitch, pop up. Landestoy says, all mine. So you get Scout with the big hit. In fact, a couple of them, kind of a break out of your slump thing. And King, 3 1/3, 1 hit, no runs, 5 Ks. If you were to go between one of those two, unless you have a wild card you want to throw in there, who are you going with?
I go Scout.
Hitter.
Of course. Behind the plate.
Hello.
Kyle's still debating.
Still thinking.
Still thinking.
Because I was going to throw a wild card at you.
Yeah.
And my wild card would be Merrill.
Just
2
because
outs,
of the 1 hit.
2 outs,
Yep.
nobody on in the third.
Yep.
I didn't know if Kowar was going to give up a hit the way that he looked the first 8 guys of this ball game.
Right.
Merrill took a 3-1 fastball, hit it to right. They scored 2 more runs that inning. And to me, it totally changed the offensive approach for TCU.
Certainly made him feel a lot better. But then we saw the rest of Kowar, and it wasn't only Merrill that got to him.
I know.
So
you asked my opinion.
I know. I liked it. No, I'm hearing it.
You went with the Omaha kid. I get it.
No, and I look. I think they're all 3 good. Who do we want to have make the ultimate decision? Like, who are your?
Let's take it downstairs.
What? Oh,
let's take it downstairs.
Yes.
She has a feel for the game.
Laura,
that's a good one.
Laura,
fire away.
Guys, I'm going Charles King.
Yes.
What
yes.
he did to come into this game.
Brilliant.
No.
This is a Florida offense that's been better of late.
Yep.
They could have gotten to somebody else potentially. Charles King came in and locked it down.
Yes. Yes. Brilliant. Brilliant.
All right, I said let's go, Laura, so I'll respect that.
Respect it. Spot on. Wow, all of a sudden you've just gone stone quiet over there. Throwing pens up here?
Yeah.
Slipped.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No. Nice job, Rutt. Popped up on a high pitch and very playable. 2 down. All right, player of the game final in a moment. Now our Capital One Cup impact performance. This is all about their 2-out runs, and they had a bunch of them tonight.
That was a big swing, too, that can't be overlooked. Zach Humphreys, that double to left center field.
That one came in the 3rd, and that one right over the head. Horvath went off his glove. That was another big play in the game.
7 of the 9 runs today have scored with 2 outs for TCU.
Made a living of that during this College World Series, and that is the Capital One impact performance. We don't need to. Ravitch and Rutledge spoke. Was that a deke by Landestoy?
That's a great play, great communication right there between the first baseman and second baseman Warner.
Landestoy hit it. Late duck out of the way. Look at him. Duck. Good play. Looks like we are just losing it here late. We're going double shades. And we're talking to a banana. It's gone now. It's officially off the rails. That's cool. I can appreciate it a little bit. Long week of baseball. Got 2 more coming up Saturday. You just
talk to a banana.
Teetering. Blake Reese has gone into play second. Deacon Lippett moves over to short from second. And that would have been a broken wooden bat, but there's 1 down. Here's another one for the King case. He's in position to earn his first collegiate win. That's a pretty memorable one. So you tack on player of the game to first win.
It's pretty good.
It's a good Friday.
Great moment to do it in.
I think, boys, in the truck, we can build that graphic up. Two down. Hey, this Sunday, E60 features the New York Knicks' Kristaps Porzingis. Jeremy Schaap said, quote, is the most famous Latvian in the world. Start your Sunday with a story 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. It streams live on the ESPN app. What'd you all make of the NBA draft last night? Kind of went according to form. No huge deals. The Butler deal came later, but the first 4, 5, 6 picks. And your guy went from Omaha.
Big day
right?
here, yeah. Justin Patton from Omaha North High School. Redshirt freshman from Creighton that declared early, went 16th overall to the Wolves. Well, to the Bulls, but ended up to the Wolves.
Who's having a better week, Patton or Merrill?
I think that's Patton. Merrill's had a good week, but I think Patton wins.
We got a slot number there. What do we got?
It'll pay for the bow tie he had on. It was a good-looking uni.
You call for it, and there it is. There it is. Wait a minute. What's the little slice of cheese at the bottom? Kyle Peterson worked 7 College World Series games.
That's
second
a pretty
today.
good week, too. Now.
Pretty good right there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good week. Throw in the old double dip tomorrow and make her 9. Swing.
Elliot Barzilli aboard, and he's got 2 hits tonight.
The more I see Barzilli, the more I like him. Defensively solid, and then offensively right here, using those legs, going down and get it. Watch the backside, right leg, down to go get that slider, recognizing it. Taking a nice swing through it.
Michael Landistoi gets a chance to swing a bat with 2 down. First pitch in there for a strike. So you go into the championship game, and I remember after losing the Super Regional second game, Kevin O'Sullivan looked around and goes, guys, we're good. We get that Faedo guy somewhere out there. We're okay. So was he saying the same thing after this game, or is he believing the same thing?
Yes. Yes and yes.
I would too.
And I think TCU was saying the same thing.
Right.
I think Jim Schlossnagle goes to his crew tonight and goes, boys, we got our ace going tomorrow, and we're going to play tomorrow. That's a pretty good day.
Third base, nice job over there by India, and he throws it a little shy of the bag, but Hicks is able to hold on to it. Gators need a 7 spot in the bottom of the 9th. Otherwise, we'll play again tomorrow night.
College World Series. The finals begin Monday at 7 on ESPN.
Like a little Zach Brown to bring you back in.
Nothing better. Nothing better than the Zach Brown Band or Omaha in June for the College World Series. And we got 2 games to find out who's going to be in the championship series. What a day and what a night here at TD Ameritrade. Borrowing a 7-run. Let's force overtime or 8 to win this thing. We're going to have 2 tomorrow. So you get LSU against the perennial power all season long, Oregon State. And then you get TCU and the Gators with the 2 aces on the mound. Really gets no better. Weather's supposed to be great. Check it out, 3 and 8 Eastern time. Trey Morris on here. He's trying to seal the deal for TCU. 9 runs on 10 hits. They've committed an error. Florida's been clean in the field, but only 3 hits tonight. And if they're in a funk, Janzak's one of those dudes that can keep him in it. India to third. An easy play, one down. All right, the votes have been tabulated. We take a look at tonight's Capital One player of the game. Kingme, 3 1/3, a hit, no runs, no earned. 5 Ks, 58 pitches. Came on in relief for Traver, who was good but laboring a little bit. And that guy got you through the middle innings and didn't give up anything.
So that player of the game to me goes for 2 nights. It's tonight, but then it's also what it sets TCU up for tomorrow night.
Yep. Keenan Bell steps into pinch hit for the Gators. The story of TCU's College World Series is their bullpen. I mean, their bullpen came in with 11 innings and no runs. Last time I checked, after the 3rd inning, there's a lot of zeros up there for the Gators. There's a hit. Bell, welcome to the College World Series. He delivers a single with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th.
Tell you what, for the freshman to come on in and second pitch that he sees on a 1-0 count here in Omaha in the College World Series, getting that hit has to feel good, and there's that smile.
It's a pretty good body, isn't it?
Keenan Bell?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a pretty good hitter, too. It wouldn't totally floor me if you see him in the starting lineup tomorrow.
Just because of the way Jans pitches? Or you just
get another
left-hander
in there. You get another left-hander in there against Janzik. I mean, Bell has plenty of starts this year. He has 24 starts, so it wouldn't be totally out of left field, but
Hicks on the ground. Not going to be 2, but they'll get 1. Christian Hicks is retired, and a good job by Warner to keep it in front of him. My man Scott Van Pelt getting ready for Sports Center. Biggest story in baseball right now, Cody Bellinger. He will be part of the program as he joins SVP. Just sort of silly numbers being put up by the Dodgers first baseman. All of a sudden now you read about Adrian Gonzalez and hear about him and the potential retiring if he can't get physically in a better place to play. Dodgers do kind of keep producing productive players, like really productive players.
They do.
System's pretty good.
Seager, pretty good. Will you get another home run tonight?
Magic Johnson had a pretty good day. He had Lonzo Ball there sitting next to him as they introduced 2nd overall draft pick. He, of course, Magic involved with the Dodgers. Buzz around LA sports. SVP will have that coast covered, the East Coast, and, of course, the middle of the country. On the ground, that gets into the hole. And a couple men on now, 1st and 3rd.
Talked about Bell. Baker also going the other way here on his first at bat. Came in earlier to play center field.
That's just Baker's 4th hit of the year. And this is a kid that I think has a bright future. Left-handed, can get into the low 90s on the mound. We've seen him in center field tonight. Just hadn't swung the bat consistently this year.
And then a strike to Ryan Larson. The TCU fans that have stayed to the end are rooting him on. He went 0-2. 4 teams still standing and 2 games left to determine who will be in the College World Series Championship Series. Here are the numbers in the last 2 games. Yeah, that'll work.
That's good. They did not have to use Coughlin. They did not have to use Feltman today.
16 straight scoreless innings, and we got ourselves a double dip on Saturday to set up the championship series. Final four of college baseball. One game for TCU in Florida, one game for LSU and Oregon State. Pretty good Saturday.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good Saturday.
Buckle up tomorrow, boys. That one will be fun. And it will be managed like Game 7 of a World Series, which would be great. You could see matchups coming early in the game you're not used to seeing.
Saturday at 3 Eastern Time, the LSU Tigers, the Beavers of Oregon State. After that, at night, TCU and Florida. The winners will play Monday, Game 1 of the College Baseball World Series Championship Series. Final score here, TCU 9, the Gators 2. Pitching in the bullpen, get it done for them. For Laura Rutledge, the smartest one sitting next to me, no doubt about it, Eduardo Perez and Kyle Peterson. I'm Carl Ravitch. Hope you enjoyed it. SVP standing by. He delivers the latest edition of SportsCenter.